They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, Thurian Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, Sarge?
Finally going back to work.
How long has it been? Like 2 months?
Over 2 months. Yep.
Wow. You're going to be motivated as the guy that worked at GameStop on that video I watched.
I'm just out of shape from not moving.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 months, and you're gonna be back and going, I fucking hate this job.
I never really hated it. It's just
take your phone.
I haven't moved. I haven't moved.
Yeah, prop it up. Get a nice background of the restaurant.
Yeah, I haven't really moved around for 2 months. That's the problem.
Yeah. What's going on, chat? Generation X Gaming weekly podcast goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way. Episode 418. We're getting down to the last couple of episodes of the year, Sarge, before episode or season 11 of our Generation X Gaming podcast. Just moving right along. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Pal World. We're going to be talking about
bunch of shit.
Borderlands. We're going to be talking about PlayStation. We're going to talk about NVIDIA. We're going to talk about pizza warmers. We're going to talk about robots, Ubisoft, Xbox. We got maybe a competitor to Madden. Maybe a competitor to Madden. And lots of other things. Battlefield. We got a Battlefield story, Sarge, I want to bring up. I saved it specifically for this show. I was like, you know what, Sarge, I'll have a couple cents to throw into this. So I was gonna do it this morning. Yeah, a pizza warmer, Dolphin, a pizza warmer. So if you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. You can also listen to us and watch us over on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm. On Spotify, you can watch all the episodes or listen to all the episodes over there. So we appreciate you very much for hanging out with us, giving us your time. What's up? What's going on, Sarge? Before we get into what we've been playing, what do you...
Are you not hearing the asteroids inside the headset, or are you?
I'm sorry, did you say asteroids?
Yeah, the asteroid sound effect. Do you hear that sound, or
no? That's your phone. I don't hear it, so that's your phone.
All right.
Yeah, near your wire. If you hear that.
All right, I moved it.
I was like, the asteroids.
Just making sure.
I'm trying to think what the asteroid sound is.
You know that the sound effect it's the sound effect for the Atari 600, man. That's
when you're shooting
the little rocky crushy noise. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Or when you died in Space Invaders.
Oh yeah. This last I've been playing a lot of not weird games, just games I normally don't play, like the Planet Coaster 2, which we'll talk about in a second. And I played this other game called Brighter Shore, which I'll talk about in a second. I'm trying to think of what else I did before we even get to talking about video games. I don't think there is anything I've done.
Like done? I've been in physical therapy.
Can you have range of your arm?
3 days, yeah, 3 days a week for 4 weeks. So I'm about 90% back.
I started working out again.
You have to.
Yeah.
Your warranty's up, bro.
Yeah, my sciatica. You know you're old when you bring up sciatica.
You gotta wear that brace around your lower leg.
Well, the reason that's why I don't like sitting. That's why I stand the entire time. When I sit in that seat, when I do the night streams, that seat like pinches off something in my legs, and I hate it.
That's because the seat is, I think, is too long, and it pinches the leg in the wrong spot. I think is what it does.
Here's the thing I hate about any kind of chair, especially when you have an office chair, right? You don't know if it's a good chair
until after you can't return it.
And until
That's
it's way too late. Right, you're way too long into it. It's got to be like 6 months in. You've been sitting down for a long time. You're like, yeah, this chair is
about a week.
It.
It usually takes about a week to figure out the routine.
It all depends on how long you sit down for. You know. Eclipse says, "Nice working outside. It's great energy boost for sure." Oh yeah. I'm gonna start doing bike rides and stuff again.
What I did for a while is I I'm sure you're going to take a joke out of this, but they
Chris
sell,
says lazy boy or bust.
it's a little platform that you plug into the wall and it vibrates, and you put your feet on it, and it helps blood flow.
Oh, my wife just got a what do they call it? A rebounder? Whatever. It's a fucking trampoline, but they call it I think it's called a rebounder, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a vibrating platform that helps blood circulation for your feet and your legs.
Yeah,
you can do that without a rebounder. Though. You can just,
yeah. Well, she wanted a rebounder.
But listen, I've always looked for a computer chair. I always look, but the problem I have is the kind of ones that I like cost too much money, and then I know they're not really comfortable. They're comfortable at that moment, but I play like long sessions of gaming, and so you won't know how comfortable it is until it's too late.
Yeah. As I get older, there's two very important things to buy in your life:
A mattress,
a bed,
Yep.
and a fucking chair.
Yep.
Those two things
Yeah.
will save you tons of time, back problems, leg problems, and doctor visits.
Yeah, they don't know. They when you're young, you have the indestructible thing in your
You're like,
head.
I'm going to
It's
sit on the
fine.
ground. I'm going to sit in a
Yeah.
beanbag chair.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone enjoy yourselves. When the warranty's up, you'll know.
Yeah. $1,000. Dolphin, I can't even fathom paying $1,000 for a chair.
$1,000 for a chair.
Yeah. We used to have these chairs at Full Sail. They were like I think he's talking about like the full mesh ones that has like 18 articulations. The thing moves in the back and the arms move and all the other stuff happens. And I was like, man, these seats are so good. Best seats I've ever sat in when we used to edit and stuff. They were like $1,200 a piece. I was like, yeah, no.
But if it's guaranteed, like that you're comfortable, then it's just like buying a mattress.
Sure. No, I get it. But I don't have the money to spend on $1,000 chair.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
A chair only, no desk. A chair only, no desk. What do you mean, Altern? You mean for $1,000? Eclipse says, I have a secret lab chair for like 2 years now. It's a good one. I can't complain, especially for the price I pay. It was only $400. $400's okay. I could deal with $400. But $1,000? Jesus. I'll just stand.
Really, but in today's
I'll
market,
just stand.
But in today's market, that's really like a $500 chair because everything's so out of whack. The prices are so out of whack.
Yeah. All right. Now that we've gone that, I don't have the rabbit hole thing, but now that we've gone down that rabbit hole, let's go to.
It's not a rabbit hole. That wasn't a rabbit hole. That's just a conversation.
What
rabbit hole would be like if we kept talking about something else and then we went down another street and then is the rabbit hole.
That's going to happen. We're going to go down another street. We're going to play the intro to what we've been playing. So here's that.
Was Krebsy name it? You named a chair. The chair has a name.
Here's the warning.
The Herman Miller.
Oh, Herman Miller is like very expensive.
The Herman Miller. Yes.
Oh, welcome to Herman Miller, where you're gonna go. You have to pay monthly payments for your chair. It's like a $2,000 chair, $4,000 chair. All right, here's the intro. All right, Sarge. It's been another week. Lots of stuff. What'd you play?
I'm trying to go through the list here. The normal stuff is the normal stuff because I'm getting back into Hell Let Loose because I'm trying to get back into a clan. The clan basically disowned me because I've been gone for 2 months. I told them the reason why, but I played in. Well, here's the first thing: the server browser works now on console.
Okay.
So there's like a big list of servers.
You're talking about Hell Let Loose.
Yeah, Hell Let Loose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the servers work really well, and I joined a few of them. And the guys who actually run the servers are actually playing the game instead of you just see the name of the server, but you never see any people from the server there.
Right.
But the server was there. The tags are there. Like everyone's playing. So I played for about maybe like a week, and then I keep getting like these messages from the guys from the clan and like, are you still in the clan with your clan tag? We want to know if you want to join. You play real well. We want some people on. And so like I'm starting to feel my way back into an actual playing, like a hardcore playing group.
Right.
So Hell Let Loose maybe about 3 or 4 times a week. I'm playing online matches against people in Company Heroes 3. I played Midgar a little bit on a different character just to see how the beginning was again, and once you know what to do. And I tolerate it, but I don't like it. Like it has no staying power for me anymore. Like most games don't have staying power for me anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's a hard sell. Like I respect most developers and how the game is. I know it's an older game, but I can't play it for any length of time. Like it doesn't interest me.
I'm on a kick of more laid back games, right? I've been playing the TCG card sim.
Like I wanna get Planet Coaster.
I bought it. I bought it a second time. I bought it.
I want to get Planet Coaster, but here's the issue. Same issue. Like, am I really gonna play it? Am I really gonna sit down and play it? Like I'm back to work now, so the time things is the
Well,
thing.
now you just lost. You just lost a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, and so the holidays are coming, and I got to do yard work and Christmas lights and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't see myself like I'm excited to play a new game, but I know if I buy it, all I'm really doing is making another Baldur's Gate 3 and just sitting there looking at me. So it's like maybe I'll just wait for sales and something pops up and maybe then I'll get it, that type of thing. I mean, I still haven't gone to the store to GameStop to get Borderlands 4 on sale for $10. Sorry, 3.
Yeah, 4's not out yet.
Well, it's the fourth game.
Fourth game, but number 3. Yeah. I've been playing Planet Coaster. I bitched about it last week on console. I was hating the controls on console. I said, fuck it. I'm buying it again. I bought it $50 on Steam.
I don't know how that works for console. Like they don't know how to.
My son he does it really well. I can't do
it because he has the open mind for it. But you've been playing so long, you already have it in your head what buttons should do what when you're playing with a controller. And when they keep making you go crossways about how to open a menu, you're like, just no, dude.
I found out there's a hot bar or like a radio wheel that you could press. You hold down X and a radio wheel pops up, and then you can use the left analog to pick and choose real fast. But there's still like an extra 10 steps on console to do one thing than you can do on PC with just the mouse cursor, just going click, 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 right? So I rebought it on PC, and I was playing it. And here, let me bring up some footage of me playing. I built a park entrance. Okay, I was building a park entrance. I'm liking this a lot better. I mean, I'm loving it on PC. I'm starting a Let's Play type of thing on our other channel, 30 and Still Gaming, where it's just time lapses, right? So I'm just building in my free time, okay, and then I'm uploading that, and I put some voiceover to the first video. The second video, I just put music. I built an entrance. I built a cafe first off. Okay, here, let me show you the very beginning of this video. I built this cafe right here.
Do the rides work?
I haven't built a ride yet.
You haven't built a ride yet?
I haven't built a ride yet.
It's Planet Coaster 2. So you built a restaurant. No. So now you're playing Restaurant Tycoon. Is that what you're doing?
I built a food court. I built a park entrance, and I built a centerpiece to my park, which now is going to be like a whole bunch of water slides coming off of it and stuff. Okay.
I don't understand. How are you open? How is the park open if there's no rides in it?
It's just the restaurant right now. They just come in. Look at it. It's packed.
Why are there 40,000 people in your restaurant? What are you selling?
It's two different like burger shops and it's restrooms in there.
It looks like a rave. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like a restaurant. What's wrong with it?
It's how I roll. Look at it. They're having a blast, right? So this is my first build that I did in Planet Coaster.
Is the game broken that it just has that many people in there for no reason?
No, that's the crowd.
Right, it's just a restaurant.
Yeah, and this is the entrance I was building. All right, so this is what it looks like. You know, when I'm working on it, this is what it looks like when I'm done. All right, hold on, let me right here. All right, that's it when it's done. All right, that's good. It's good. It's a good looking entrance. It's the 9 realms.
The 9 realms.
Yeah, the 9 realms.
So that's how much land you have. You have enough land for 9 realms.
Well, and then I'm building this giant centerpiece in the middle here, and then my other video.
Are you doing the template of Disney World?
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not. So I built this giant mountain in the
It looks
center
like
with
you
the-
are. It
with
looks
the
like you are.
waterfall.
Go ahead.
I'm not. With a giant waterfall and stuff, and there's going to be a bunch of water slides coming off the side. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm going to play this on my off time. When I say off time, I mean when I'm not live streaming. Because live streaming, for whatever reason, I'm not very talkative when I build. Okay, it's not very
because you're concentrating.
yeah. It's
Boring.
not very
It's boring.
Yeah, it's very monotonous. If you want to,
It's like watching it's like listening to a thunderstorm and going to sleep.
that's right. If you want to go to sleep, you're just listening to the la la la.
You're like a
la,
video
la.
version of a Roxy Codone.
Right. so that's just it, right? So I stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna play this on stream. I'm gonna play this off stream and then just do uploads of it. So that's what I'm doing now. Let's see if I can bring up the other. And the other game I played this week on the channel is Brighter Shores. All right, but before I get to Brighter Shores, let me show you this monstrosity I'm building in my other world here, Sarge. Watch this. This is the mountain I built. The mountain I built is I don't know what I'm doing when I build this. By the way, I'm just building because this is what's in my head. Okay, I don't have any plan. I'm just building because that's what I want to build. Let me bring it up. Presentation.
Was that a giant baseball I saw inside your restaurant? Is that like the character?
Yeah, it's the character,
The mascot?
Planet Coaster. Yeah. All right, so I'm building a giant mountain in the center here, and this is time lapsed, obviously. And I'm building this whole giant monstrosity. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like, yeah, this looks good, and this is and then I'll show you what it looks like.
So how long does it take to rotate the rocks and do all that kind of nonsense? Like I just don't care.
If you don't care about it,
I just want to play.
You can.
Yeah, I'm not an interior designer though. Yeah, but I don't want to do every little thing. Isn't there like templates for stuff already done, or I gotta build everything?
No, you can go to the workshop. You could download my stuff, and you can just implement it in your plays. Right.
Can you do that for anybody, anywhere on the planet, anywhere on the world? I can just take their stuff
anywhere. Yeah, they upload it, and like I uploaded mine. I have like 100, 200 downloads for each of my things. So. Yeah, so that's my centerpiece. I'm gonna have a bunch of water slides coming off the side. I put steam in the water to make it look like it's foggy. I have a waterfall that comes down at the end here. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
One thing's great though. There's so many options they give you for these kind of games now. I'm glad they don't try to pump them out like every couple of years. I'm glad the
last one came out in 2016. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm glad they take their time and they make a game, and then the game lasts a while because look how. There's just so many choices now. It's not like it was before where you have limited choices and that's it. Like you can just do everything. And I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest. I believe, right? And I know they don't have a lot of conversations like this, but I believe because of what the guys did for City Skylines against SimCity is the reason why we've got games like this now.
Well, it's the same company that does City Skylines. Yeah.
This is my point.
Yeah,
right?
Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster.
City Skylines basically said, EA is slipping. They're boring. They're bullshit. Their game is garbage. We can do better than them. And they did. And they basically blew them up. Remember that controversy that SimCity had where you had to be online? There was no other way to play it. Like the land masses you had were really small and you couldn't it was just nonsense. Everyone was like, why do I have to keep being online for every little fucking thing I do? And so City Skylines like, you know what? We can do everything that SimCity does and do it better. And wabam, they did.
It's unfortunate.
And they did take a story out of the book of EA though. How many DLCs are there for City Skylines? It's redonkulous.
Yeah, but it is unfortunate that City Skylines 2 came out last year and they screwed it up at the very beginning. They pushed it out too early, had so many issues and problems. And I don't know if it's recovered yet. I know they've done a lot of changes to it. But yeah, they just screwed it up. They should have waited and put it out when it was done, not put it out too early like they did.
But SimCity had no competition.
Right.
SimCity had no competition. So what does that mean when you have no competition? Suck it up and buy our game.
No. I'm talking about City Skylines 2 came out last year and it was broke.
No, but what I'm saying is when the SimCity came out and City Skylines came out.
Oh, for sure.
SimCity did whatever they wanted.
They could do, they capitalized
because there was no choice. City Skylines 2, yeah, had a lot of bugs when it came out. But
Yeah.
the thing that bothered me is if you were in deep with City Skylines and you had all those DLCs, I'm not sure all those DLCs transferred over to City Skylines 2.
I don't think so.
I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yep.
The other game I was playing this game called Brighter Shores. Okay, now Brighter Shores is a game. Basically, it's RuneScape. You remember RuneScape, Sarge? You ever play RuneScape?
It's somewhere in my. If I sit and think about it for a minute, I'll get the photos.
I played RuneScape for about 3 years, right? Off and on for about 3 years, right? I enjoyed it. Okay, one of the creators of RuneScape made this game now called Brighter Shores. It's in early access, so they're changing a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of good updates and whatnot. They had a patch yesterday, a patch today, so they're constantly upgrading it. Mediocre fans right now playing, or I should say player-based playing. It's got a couple. I think it's up to 15,000 people were playing at one point for it. So pretty decent for what this is. I know it looks dated and whatnot, but I have to say, like the structure of the game is actually pretty fun. The story's actually good inside the story, but it's very old school. But it's an MMO. It's a fully fledged MMO. There's multiple career paths. So
it kind of looks like what Ultima Online was, but
yes, it reminds me of Ultima Online. Yeah.
But a better version.
So there's 4 different stories, and this is the first 2 missions or first 2 stories are free. It's a free to play game, so the first 2 stories are free. Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 you have to pay for, and then this game is going to be I think a $6 a month MMO fee, that's where they're recouping the cost of stuff. Okay, so it's a $6 a month or $5 a month purchase. Okay, what I'm doing here right now is once you level something up to level 20, let me pause it for a second so you can see. Once you level up one of your things to level 20, which is either guard, cooking, fishing, gathering, or alchemist, okay, and you level up, you can then every 100 things you do. Okay, so if I gather 100 things, there's a bar that goes up. If I kill guys, you go up by 3 each one. So you kill 60 guys, you're going to make it to another 100 level of this. I don't know if I can show you. There's a little experience bar. Okay, this up here like levels up, and once it goes to 100, you get a point. You get a point, and then you level it up towards the things that you have level 20. So the things I have at level 20 right now are fishing and guard. Okay, so I can only put it towards either fishing or guard. And if I don't want to put it towards fishing or guard, then I can just... What's that?
Can you save it?
You can't save it. You have to... Well, actually, I think you can save it. Yeah, you could just move on. But you can use it to convert to XP and then throw it towards so your level up goes up. You get like 4,000 or 5,000 XP. Or you could use it and get 13 silver.
You can throw it towards XP for something you haven't got to level 20 yet?
Correct. Okay. Correct. Yeah, you can throw it to anything that wants to that, but you just can't level that up. You get passive abilities and or whatnot. So there's 5 professions inside the first story, first part. There's 5 in the second, 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth. Okay, so you have like 20 different professions. Now, I can't talk much about the other professions. I know it's like blacksmithing and wood chopping and stuff like that. What I'm a little confused at, and maybe Chad could help me if those people have been playing it, okay, is that I can only level up this stuff that I'm doing in Hopeport while I'm in Hopeport. So if I'm fishing and I'm in Chapter 2, anything I do over there is only going towards Chapter 2's proficiencies. Only when I come back to Hopeport, I believe, I can only level up my guard stuff, because you're doing missions, you're doing quests, you're doing a bunch of stuff over here. I'm not sure if that's how it works. You see how this is up here? It says Hopeport, and then it says Hope Forest, and then it says Mine. Go ahead. You have a question?
Yeah. What's with the partitioning of the areas? So it's not really open world. It's like segmented.
It's open world. Think of a board game, like connecting the D&D boards together.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what they use these for is because it's an open world.
Yeah.
They're instances. So when people are there, there's instances, so it doesn't get overflowed with like thousands of people passing through and running through. It partitions the thing so it runs real smooth.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Okay. So see right here, the next knowledge thing is 15%. So when I gather stuff, it goes up by 1 point each, and then you can look. So each profession here, Sarge, okay, goes up to 500 level each, right? I'm level 20. You can go all the way up to level 500 as a guard, as a chef, as a fisherman, as a.
All right. So here's the question I always ask about
Yep.
this. Can you get them all to 500?
You can. It's just your time.
See, that was always the issue I have when you keep wanting to make these MMOs, right? Where if you want the game to run correctly in a term of like real economy and be structured, so you can have an auction house, so you can have things like run properly, like you can't have everybody be everything,
Right.
right? This way, certain guys do certain jobs. And then on top of that, you're not allowed to have multiple characters where you can have everything anyway.
Here's
right?
I don't you there is a way to have multiple characters because you can have like I think up to 3. But here's why I don't think you would do that, because of your time. I mean, you can do a proficiency, right? So in the beginning, everyone's going to get to level 20, and getting to level 20 is pretty goddamn simple, right? You go up real fast.
That's the tutorial.
Yeah.
Like
so on
tutorial.
stream, I was 0 chef, and I got all the way up to level 20 the other night when we played. Okay. Where it starts to differentiate what you're asking, like Star Wars Galaxies, when you get that doctor proficiency or when you're a bounty hunter and stuff like that. So as you go deeper in the game, there's higher tier stuff that only the higher tier people can get. So you can't, you can't farm a certain thing because you're level 25, but you need to be level 88 to grab that stuff. Just like other normal, like in New World and everything else, right? So there's high end resources and stuff. So while you're up to level 500, it's going to start pulling away from each other. You're going to see proficiency people that are blacksmiths and chefs and guards and stuff like that, because you're not going to have enough time to go up every level to 500.
All right, so it has to be like the really people who have enough time to grind it all out. So
right.
To get to 500, do the best things, but then to do it again is a lot of time.
Right. Or, and I'm not sure, I think you could pay, because obviously it's 2024. I'm not too sure. But there's a lot of stuff. So the longer the game's out, people are going to start separating, and you're going to find those proficient people in blacksmith. So if you want the high end gear or whatever, they'll make it for you. Brain Eclipse says, well, usually when you go into the new episode, you can only do those professions. When you go to the new one, there won't be no fishing. You have to go back to right. So that's exactly what I thought. Okay, like I haven't played it myself, but I'm assuming you can only do the 5 professions in each of the sections that you're in. Thank you very much for the info. So yeah, it's interesting. And there's a lot of recipes and a lot of things. Look, it looks so simplistic, but I'm telling you, it's addictive. It's a game that you play it on one screen, watch Netflix, watch YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like one of those types of games because it's point and click, and they just fixed it where you can click on the upper map now, and it makes it move instead of scrolling through the screen and making it click where you want it, because it's point, click, move. Okay? So now you can bring up the map and click on the map within a certain distance, and it'll go there, so it's much easier. So now you can just keep your mouse cursor up in the upper left-hand corner and just click on the map, and then it'll fix it here. Like I start doing it later because someone told me they actually implemented it. So you just have the map in the upper corner, and then you just click on the map, and then your guy will move on the screen. Okay, like point click. So I like it, and it's again, I'm playing it right now. I'm testing it out, playing it. I have like 25 hours in this game, and there's even a passive ability once you get to level 20. It opens up where you can do a passive ability. So if you want to go fishing, log out, and then you come back tomorrow or come back 2 days from now, as long as you had enough fishing bait or stuff in your inventory, you'll get XP while you're offline.
Oh, see, the old way was me putting a piece of napkin in my computer.
Yeah. You just wedge it.
I use the paper clip, and I jab the 2 skill buttons down, and so I left my computer on overnight, and he just kept doing the same skill over and over again. That's the old school hack.
Yeah, so
a paper clip and some tissue.
You don't have to do that anymore. They let you do it.
I know.
All you gotta do is level 20.
It's a bold new world.
Yeah. So I like it. It's like I said, it's a free to play game. It's on Steam. Lots of people are mix feedback right now. They're like they like it, but they don't like it. It's too grindy. They say the professions they They don't like the professions in each of the sections. I think they said in one of the patch notes that he might fix it where you can do it anywhere. So if I want to be a guard, everywhere I go, I can still level up my guard stuff or fishing stuff, but we'll see what happens. So that's one of the other games I've been playing, and I'm liking it so far. Like I said, I'm playing like TCG Card Sim. I'm playing this. I'm playing Planet Coaster 2. I'm not playing a lot of action adventure games right now. I'm kind of like action adventure gamed out.
We'll save up. The Indiana Jones game's coming.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the Indiana Jones game is coming out, so we'll probably not probably.
Is that going to be on Game? Is that going to be on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass. Yeah, it's coming to
Is
PlayStation.
It really?
And it's coming to PlayStation in February. Yeah.
So Game Pass first of February for
December 6th or 9th, something like that. It comes out for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and then PlayStation comes out in February, beginning of February. So, and it looks good. We could actually talk about that real fast. Like, did you watch when I watched it?
I watched it.
What'd you think? What's your thoughts on it?
The only thing I didn't like from what I saw was the third person swinging of the whip and then going back to first person. It's a little jarring.
A little jarring, yeah.
But
I think it's because it's too quick.
But otherwise than that, I think they had to, because you needed to have the cool factor of you swinging as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Right. So the part that I'm on the fence about is that it's first person, right? So you're saying to yourself, I am Indiana Jones.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, if you're moving around, if nobody told you it was Harrison Ford,
it could be anybody.
It could be anybody. Right. So that's the only thing that got me a little like off. I'm not saying it's like a negative, but it's weird because when you do it like that, how do I explain it?
I know what you mean.
For me, it doesn't bother me as much because I know who he is, right? I lived through everything. I know who the guy is. But someone who's new, who's getting an adventure game, and someone tells you it's Indiana Jones, and you're like, okay, well, you're first person. It's like, you don't give a shit who you are. You're just a first person character moving around, right? Unless he's got like some kind of like good vocabulary going on the whole time.
I was just going to say
that brings it back in. Like, I understand he talks.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if it's because once again, it's because of me, not because of anybody else. I'm talking about me now. If he's talking, right, and it's first person,
then it brings you back in.
No, what I hear is inner monologue of Indiana Jones, like he does. Like
right, because you know the character. Right, because you know the character. Right.
I think that he's not really talking. I think that's just his inner monologue that I'm listening to because that's what he does.
Right.
Right. So I'm really hoping that after years of having adventure games like that and Lara Croft and Tomb Raider and all these other games that have come out, I just hope they just go down the line and make it a fun adventure game of being Indiana Jones.
Sure. I think I 100% agree. Even Salty's saying it. Personally, it should have been third person. Krebsy, I think, said it should be third person. When it first came out, that was the first thing I said. I said, why isn't it third person?
It's just a little strange. That's all.
But now that I've seen more footage, okay, now that I've seen some of the stuff, I kind of like that it's first person. It's kind of winning me over a little bit, but that it is jarring when you swing. Right? Like, it's okay. You're climbing the ladder. You see them, right? You do certain other things, climbing on the rocks and stuff. You see them. Cool. But the swinging's like first person, third person, first person. It's like real fast, and it's kind of like jarring a little bit, right? I think, though, it's going to make you feel like Indiana Jones. And here's why.
That's what you're hoping.
Right. Because of the music, because of you're going to hear his voice and the dialogue, and maybe as you're sneaking, you hear dun 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 dun. Dun. You know what I mean? Like the music's going to start playing. You're like, yeah, I know who I am, right? He's going to make his snarky comments. I did like the fighting that they showed, right? The fighting with the first person fighting. He's blocking and the way he could counter, and then when he drops his fedora, he can have that second wind where he picks it up and like dusts it off, and then like he has that extra power.
But how do you second wind yourself?
Well,
when you're about to die, you're gonna run over and pick up your hat.
you walk over, they crawl over, you pick up your hat, you dust it off, and you're like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Like you have that second wind.
I mean, I'm hoping they have some of the humor from the movies type of thing.
It looked like they did.
Yeah,
It looked like they did. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be told anything. Like that kind of game you want to experience.
Yeah, I didn't like when they were showing me the puzzles. I was like, don't show me the puzzles.
Stop showing me puzzles. Just say there's puzzles. That's fine. Just stop showing me puzzles.
So what I thought was interesting when he was fighting, and the way it looks, and even his punching, I think they nailed it. Right? I always think it's
it the Lucasfilm punch?
It is. It's the Lucasfilm punch.
Is it the sound effect from Lucasfilm?
Yes, it sounds like it. The sound design sounds just like the movies.
Do they have do they have a Wilhelm scream in there?
They probably will. Right? I just feel like if it feels like, and I said this with RoboCop when I played RoboCop. Right? RoboCop last year when I played it felt like if we watched the movies in the 80s and that game came out.
That game in the 80s.
Yeah, like that game was set during that time period. It was set in that time period, but I'm saying that it feels like they made that game in the 80s, like right after the movie, right? It feels like it just goes along with the movie. I hope that's what Indiana Jones feels like for this game, right? Like this game for the series. I feel like this could be the Indiana Jones after the Last Crusade type of thing. You know what I mean? Instead of what people got with the Shia LaBeouf and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, and I've said this in the past, it's always harder for an actor to replicate someone's voice than to just be a character, right? Like Harrison Ford didn't have to act like somebody else to be Indiana Jones. He embodies Indiana Jones, okay? But now Troy Baker has to sound like and be Harrison Ford, who is Indiana Jones, right? So it's much harder for that, and I think he sounds pretty goddamn good for what we've heard, his Harrison Ford. You can tell it's not Harrison Ford, but when we first heard it, I was like, is it him? I was like, did they get Harrison Ford? But Harrison Ford's like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care.
Hey, kid's not that kind of movie.
Yeah, he's just over the whole thing. I'm not going to say high hopes for Indiana Jones, but I'm hoping it's a fun adventure game. You know, I'm hoping it's like a Uncharted. I hope it's like a Tomb Raider type of game. I don't want to make that comparison, obviously, because those characters are based off of that character. But now, because they're popular franchises on their own, and now you have an Indiana Jones game, it's going to be compared to Uncharted and Tomb Raider, and that's why I think they went first person and didn't go third person.
It's not like a whole deal breaker for me. I'm just looking at the overall game. But like now, and this goes against my better judgment of myself. But if the game does well, that type of game is perfectly placed for what today would be called live service, like the new episode of Indiana Jones.
They could. I don't know if they will, but that would be.
But that's what I'm saying. In this particular instance, the next episode of where he has to go and what he's got to find. Like, you can drag that shit on for at least 3 or 4 different things. Easy.
Yeah. I mean, I would be okay if they did what they did with Borderlands. Just like 3-4 different expansions, like that are like 5 to 10 hours each.
I have to say that Borderlands 2 and its DLCs, I think, did it the best.
Yeah,
of like what that was, right? More of the same, but a different story with some more things added.
That's it. That's all we ask.
And it's just done well. It was just done well. So if they could do that with this, that's a good franchise. Like think about it, because they could release it like every couple 18 months, 2 years, 18 months, maybe 2 years, and like another episode of Indiana Jones. And you're basically dragging that game for maybe 3 or 4 years.
Right.
All
right, chat. Real quick reminder, if you would like to ask us a question, just put a Q in front of the question that you have. We'll save it for the end of the show. If you'd like to have a question beforehand, you can always use the super chat, and we'll ask it and say it and speak it on stream right away. Appreciate it very much. So let's get to top stories. Love seeing Sarge's face every time that thing goes off. I can just imagine what the people at home, they're like, what the hell is that?
Well, if you're going to sleep by the sound of my voice, you're like,
dun, 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 dun.
Right.
So the first story I want to bring up, Sarge, is Palworld. Right, Palworld is one of the most popular games this year, as far as sales go. We said in the very beginning because people are like, Nintendo's going to sue them. Nothing happened right away. They sold a shit ton of money.
Until they bragged about their sales.
They bragged about their money, about what their sales were, and Nintendo's like, We gotcha. And now they're suing them. And it says Power World developer Pocket Pair announced that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are demanding 10 million yen, which is about $66,000 plus the late payment damages in their lawsuit against Power World. Okay. So one of 3 patent infringing upon is for the game program in which you throw items to catch a character. So it's exactly what people thought it was, and that's what they is. Now, couple things happening here, Sarge, right? There's rumors saying that the next Pokemon game coming out is a open world game like Power World. Okay. And this is why they're trying to scare Pocket Pair. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, what makes me laugh is it's $66,000. And you're like, well, that's why? Like, what is that thing? But I said this earlier in this week. I was like, it's not about the money. It's about them bowing down and saying, if you pay us the $66,000, which is measly money for all the money that you've made on Power World,
right? But you're admitting that the patent is real,
right? You're admitting that the patent is real, and then Pocket Pair has to completely change their game because they use the mechanic in the game.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to get into this early, but I'll get into this now. Like, I don't believe a mechanic from a game can be patented, right?
Nintendo says otherwise.
Right? I get it. I understand in this particular instance, it's because of the Pokemon thing and the way the creatures are captured. I get it. But the act of throwing something fictitious and magically it goes into it like a cage doesn't seem to me like that's a patented move. It's just an action that a character does in a game.
Right.
Like every other action ever in the history of gaming has been copy pasted into everybody else, right? Whether it be psych powers, physical powers, any type of related game, medieval weapons, like everything's been copy pasted, everything. So throwing an item that catches a creature, was it round or could it have been square? Like, does it matter? You know what I mean? Like,
no, I know what you mean.
It just seems petty to want to fight them on this because they did a better job than your shitty game.
Well, here's another part of it, right? So Pocket Pair reports details of the application and registration dates and patents in question, all 3 of which were filed by and granted by Nintendo in months following Power World's release in January 2024. However, each filing asserted the lawsuit in continuation of the series of patents that Nintendo had originally filed in 2021 during the development of Pokemon Legends, right? So they posed them, but they didn't get them until after Power World came out. Well, they knew about Power World for about 2 years because they knew they were in development.
So if we're going to follow the legality of it, then your patent wasn't approved until after the game came out, so you wouldn't be able to use that against them.
Right.
Filing the patent doesn't guarantee you the patent anyway.
Exactly.
So when you get the patent, then it's yours.
Then so after the fact, you can do it.
So it's the game came out before that, then it's after the fact. Now, on top of that, I'm pretty sure chat and we all discussed this. Did not Nintendo and Pokemon's take those moves from a different different company anyway?
They took the likeness of another game or another property and then made into Pokemon. Yeah.
Right. So like what are we talking about? Right. I mean, it's good for me, but not for thee. Is that the position we're in now?
That's basically right.
I hope I hope that Power World developers get a good lawyer and they don't pay the $66,000, bro. I'll be honest. Right? If the order of things is true and the patent didn't come out until after Power World released, then they don't have a leg to stand on anyway. From now on, they don't have to do it. That's fine, but that game was already made.
Right.
Or for shits and giggles, just go back and change it from a ball to a cube and just move on with your life.
So do you think Pocket Pair wins or do you think Nintendo wins?
I don't know about winning. I think that the precedent that's trying to be set is not beneficial for either consumers or businesses, right? Everybody wants to make video games. Everybody wants to make money. You're not making anything super special here where you threw a ball at a creature to try to capture it and you think that you need to patent that to protect your game because your guys don't know how to make a game properly and you got scared because somebody else did it better than you. That's how it's supposed to be, right? You're supposed to do a job. You got praised for it. And then when you do the job again and you did not get praised for it because your game sucked and somebody else does it better, that's free market. For you to go defensive and try to use patents and leverage to stop somebody else from making a game that's competitive to yours because you're afraid of it, right? Like, that's not how the market's supposed to work, right? Everything is supposed to get better over time. The cream's supposed to rise to the top, and the guys who don't want to do it anymore, who will get lazy, fall off. That's how it works in every business across the entire effing planet. We don't need to have it all of a sudden. Lawyers get involved and say, oh, well, we got the patent, so I can make my shitty game for the next 10 years, and you're going to have to suck it up. Like, that's not how it's supposed to work.
Right. Krebsy says Nintendo should just big dicked and bought them. What about if Microsoft buys them? Microsoft helped them out. This is why it's on Game Pass. They gave them, I think they gave them a little bit of help if it was publishing or whatnot. It would be funny if all of a sudden Microsoft gets in bed with them and is like, yeah, we'll bank you for your lawsuit. Go ahead and fight Nintendo.
I mean, think of it this way. Think of the precedent you're trying to set, like just like the Nemesis bullshit, right?
Yeah, can't use that until 2035.
Somebody comes out with a cool idea, and now nobody can come up with it again because you want to have a patent like it. Like, all that does is stifle creativity in the market. That's all that does, right?
Right.
It's okay to do everything, backstab assholes for 25 years. You guys have watched all the games come out, backstab everybody. Now all of a sudden it's lawyers and dreadlock. Hey, right. This is mine. This is mine. You can't do that. That's mine. Like, no.
Of course, Water Bear, they would get sued. Microsoft would get sued. But that's what I'm saying. Pocket Pair's a little guy, and the big guy is bullying the little guy. What about if another big guy came along and said, "Hey, this is our buddy. What are you doing to this guy?" Right? And they're like, "Let's go." Right? Microsoft has money where they could just sit in court and just last for years. Pocket Pair does not. Pocket Pair that's why there's 66,000. And I'm telling you, the reason it's 66,000 is because they want them to admit that they have the thing. And what Sarge said, they did it after. It got issued after the game came out, meaning the game is out. But technically the game is not out because it's an alpha. It's not actually full release.
Well,
right?
That's another battle.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you can charge for product and microtransactions in a game that's not released yet, and that counts as a game.
Well, there's no microtransactions.
Well, you pay for things in the game.
You paid the game. You bought the game. You can just buy the game.
There's nothing in the game you can pay for?
No.
Nothing.
Okay,
then it doesn't work that way.
At least not at the alpha stage.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is Star Citizen's not out, but it keeps harvesting money.
Right. Fortnite wasn't out for 4 years.
But that's not out.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the line? You're allowed to make revenue on a game that's not really out. We're going to play on words now. Like, the game is like, if you're playing the game, right? If you paid for the game, you're playing it. Alpha, you can call it whatever you want. If I paid for it, it's out, right? If I'm playing it for free and they're testing it, different story. If I paid for it and it's out, you call it whatever you want. Alpha, beta, zeta, theta, you're out.
Yeah, Papa says 30. I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft buys Pocket Pair and bankrolls the lawsuit. Would be amazing. I just think it would be funny if they did. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. Just putting it out there. I think it'd be funny if they're like, yeah, we'll help you guys, right? Because think about it. It's a big hit game. Microsoft is trying to get into that type of market. Okay, they can't get into that market. But what about if they pick up Pocket Pair and now they're in that market and it's a huge competitor to Pokemon? You see what I'm saying?
I agree with most things in this kind of business atmosphere, but I don't agree in stifling creativity and putting stuff behind patents,
right,
and protections. Everybody wanted to make games. You're here. You're making games now. If someone comes up with a cool idea, great. Now the cool idea can be built upon and get better over time. Right?
Yeah, it's salty. They can't use it until 2035. 2035 is the next time someone can use a Nemesis system besides Warner Brothers.
That's just stupid. Think of all the games in your mind, all the IP and what a Nemesis system would do for you, right?
Yeah,
think about it.
They say they might be using it in the Wonder Woman game, but we don't know anything about that game yet.
Think about it. Like you could do that in any kind of game, like action adventure game, like The Witcher, where like you kill a guy, but you didn't kill him fast enough, and he runs away, and he remembers you later. and he starts calling you out by name. Like you could do that kind of cool stuff across many games,
Right.
many games, but we can't now because someone's got butt hurt and they want to protect their little cutesy little nemesis system.
So the next story I want to talk about, Sarge, is Borderlands 4 2025 release window just got narrowed down as Gearbox owner says it won't release before April, but it also won't clash with GTA 6. So now they've just kind of spilled the beans a little bit because we obviously know that this is definitely not going to come out after Grand Theft Auto 6, right? There's no way in hell that Borderlands...
That's how finished it is.
Well,
here's the
well, let's get there. Hold on a second.
First of all, let's agree on one thing at a time. When is Grand Theft Auto coming out?
Well, supposedly Grand Theft Auto is coming out next year around this time, October, November-esque.
That's without any delays at all, bro.
Well, I don't think they've been working on the game for quite some time. I don't know. They might have delays or whatnot.
It's the only game they've been working on. What do you mean?
No, I know that.
Quite
but
some time.
I'm not even worried about Grand Theft Auto 6. Borderlands 4 showed absolutely nothing. They showed a trailer, and then when they had the little panel, they showed nothing of the game. If you're less than a year out and showed us nothing of this game, maybe the Game Awards, they show something, okay? This game comes out, and there's no way in hell it's done. I mean, it's coming out, but they'll charge full price for it. But this game is coming out, and it will not be complete in any way, shape, or form. It'll be fixed over the next 12 to 18 months.
I mean, right, that's what I'm saying.
Right? And there's no way they're putting Borderlands 3 or 4 after Grand Theft Auto, right? So it's going to be before Grand Theft Auto, but it's not coming out before April. So we're talking summertime for this, right?
Wait a minute.
June, July, August for this, October, November for GTA 6.
All right, so let's just do the normal flow chart here, right? Let's just say guaranteed, right? And this doesn't mean it means nothing. Guaranteed October next year, Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, right?
Yep.
And we all know the Borderlands 4 is not done. Borderlands 4 will come out the following year, like a May or April or some shit like that. Like that's what they would do. Like if it was ready or close to being ready. You won't have to wait a year outside of Grand Theft Auto 6. You just have to get away from it the months around it. You just have to move away from it, right?
You got it.
But
if you're before it,
no game has ever made its date in the last 6 years. So let's just call it plus 8 months after whatever you think.
Nate says Rockstar confirmed fall of 2025. Yeah, and Bethesda confirmed November 11th of 2022.
You guys think confirm means like pinky promise,
right?
Or something. It's like that.
Right. They can say a date. It still doesn't mean they're going to hit it. Assassin's Creed Shadows said November 15th. What's today? Oh, today's the 14th. I'll tell you what. They missed their date because they're pushing it back to February, which will probably get pushed back to March, which will probably get pushed back to May. Okay, but we'll see what happens when we cross the bridge. So I don't care what they say. All I care about is make a game, sell a game, put the game out, and making sure it's complete. And as of right now, they've showed nothing of Borderlands 4. Yeah, nothing of Borderlands 4. At least Grand Theft Auto 6 showed you a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, you're a year out. You showed nothing. That's
less than a year out.
That's not good.
Less than a year out.
I bet you they had to redo something, and that way they have to redo the advertisement trailer. Like remember the trailer for 3? Like what ridiculousness that was. Like that was like the celebration of Borderlands altogether. That's what it was basically. It's like just the celebration of Borderlands. So how far wackadoo did they go that they don't even have something to show you a year out? That they have to go back and redo it.
If you just show a title, you're more than a year away.
Right.
No one's done just a title. It's like, oh yeah, we're dropping this over here. Unless you're Hi-Fi Rush, which nobody knew about, and it got dropped, and it was a success, but they still closed the studio.
Yeah, not many developers have gotten away with the hey, here's the game, and guess when it's coming out? 2 months. That was the Bethesda thing for Fallout 4.
Bethesda did it for Fallout 4, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it, right? And they got lucky, but that proves our point. If you know it's done, it's fucking done, right? Not this guesswork where it's out in May, it's out in June, it's out in October, it's out in December. Like, you guys don't know when it's done? Or you do? What?
Yeah, just
what is it?
I just think it's funny when everyone's like, it's guaranteed to be the state. Nothing's guaranteed. Something's going to happen along the way. Borderlands 4, look, if it comes out, I'm telling you, even if it hits the date whenever it comes out in the summer, it's not going to be complete when it's out. It's going to be fixed over the next 12 to 18 months. Next story, Sarge. We have lack of interest, okay, of the PlayStation 5 Pro is focusing scalpers to sell them for a loss. Okay. Now, this is not a because I know people are going to think about this and go, this is shitting on PlayStation 5. No, this is not shitting on PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay.
Good.
The scalpers thought that it was going to be like what it was in 2020. And in 2020, we were all stuck in our houses. There was chip shortages. There was a bunch of stuff. They were selling, the PlayStation 5 for $1,200, $1,400, $1,000 for all this stuff. They were buying them up. Remember that one guy had like over 150 units. He made over $1.5 million in sales of because he bought all the consoles and then was scalping them all or whatever. Well, they thought the same thing was going to happen with this. But Sony's like, yeah, no, we have plenty of them. And they're in stores. You can go buy one right now. So scalpers are even throwing in gift cards. They're throwing in gift cards to get their stock out of because they bought too many of them and now they're just sitting on them. I just thought it was funny. There's no more to that. It's just that the scalpers screwed themselves over because they thought it was going to be like 2020.
All right, we need to touch base with chat now, right? Aku, I thought the Pros was selling really, really well. It was. All the scalpers bought it.
I think it is though. Still, I mean, we don't know the sales numbers, but
no.
They only said 1.5 million would sell by March, is what they said.
All I'm saying is, if scalpers bought them up, sales look good, but they're not really in the hands of people. Just like we did this game,
right? When
the release of the new Xbox and the release of the PlayStation originally, like it wasn't going to the hands of the actual people, but the sales were doing really well.
Yeah. Look, if you're a person that bought up a PlayStation. Enjoy. I have nothing to say. Like, yeah, you wasted your money. I'm not saying any of that. I just think it's hilarious that the scalpers bought it and they're like, they're giving gift cards. They're packaging gift cards to sell theirs over the regular person who can go to the store and buy one for the same price. I just think it's it's hilarious. That's all.
I mean, after all we've heard about the PlayStation PlayStation Pro prior to it coming out. Do you think it was a good idea at all to try to do the same thing like you did with the PlayStation originally? Like to be a scalper? Like you see how the sales were going. Like, did you think that people were going to rebuy the Pro again?
Well, you have to know your
price point.
You have to know your clientele smaller this time around, right?
What's the scalp price on the Pro? I never caught it. What's the scalp price for the Pro?
I think they were selling for $1,000 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
So a 30% markup.
Yeah, something like that. And then they're also trying to sell like the disk drive or the stand and stuff like that. Yeah, I went to Costco, Gator, and they had PlayStation 5 Pros there, like a whole pallet of like boxes of where they just have that little cardboard thing that you can take to the register. Yeah, it's like there's no shortage this time around, and that's what I think is funny because these scalpers thought they're like, oh man, this is gonna sell, like. It's not going to sell like this, like it was last time, right? Because this is not a new system. This is just an upgrade to a system. So you're not going to have this massive amount of people that didn't own the system come and buy a $700 system
and then want to buy the
right. They would go if anything, they would just go buy the $500 system, right? They would just go buy the one that they scalped last time, right? So, yeah. Other news for PlayStation is that Astrobot has sold 1.5 million copies, but Sony says the platformer's real strength is grabbing people who didn't care about games like God of War, Ragnarok, or Marvel Spider-Man. Okay, so
how is that related to Astrobot?
Well, the people in the article, because I read this earlier in the week, Sarge, it said that people on PlayStation, I forget what percentage it is. I think it was like 30%. Let's see, it was 30%, 1.5 million. It was some percentage of 37%. So in Quarter Fifth Code claims that those 1.5 million players, 37% hadn't bought a first-party PlayStation game in the last 2 years. So PlayStation's been out for 4 years, right? 37% of the people that bought Astrobot, 1.5 million people, 37% of those people haven't purchased another PlayStation first-party game in 2 years. Right, so even PlayStation's own player base is not buying first-party titles, but they bought this one. Okay, now 1.5 million is not bad for a game like this because the budget for this game is not astronomical. You know what I'm saying? It's not a $300 million budget game. So if this goes on and sells another 500,000 to 1 million, it sells between 2 and 2.5. It's good for this. What I think is funny though, a lot of Sony fans like to prop things up like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're like Astrobot selling like hotcakes. You know what I mean? And it's like, here's the sales numbers, 1.5. They thought it was going to be like 5 million people bought it, 7 million people bought it, and it's just not that. But it's not successful. It's successful.
Yeah, but I have questions. I have questions on this now because you're saying the 1.5 million people who
bought Astrobot.
30% of those people,
37% of those people haven't bought a first-party title game on PlayStation in the last 2 years.
Now, how do they know that?
They know everything when you buy the system because it's online. They know what your library has and everything.
But what about somebody that would play a first-party title, but maybe they rented it?
It doesn't matter because once you put it in the system, it would mark it as achievements and stuff.
No, I get that, but you're saying that they haven't bought it. They haven't bought a first-party title. Okay, so 37% maybe just rent games.
No, it's saying 37%. They show that the last games that came out the last couple of years, they don't have anything on their system that shows that they have those games on their system. You understand? Like if I put God of War Ragnarok in my system, it registers and goes, oh, achievement this. So I would count towards buy, rent, doesn't matter. It just says that I've played that game. 37% of these people haven't, basically, let me reword it. 1.5 million people, 37% take bought out, haven't played a first-party PlayStation game in the last 2 years.
That seems a little weird, but I'll go with it. I mean, 30. Are we talking about 37% of people who have a PlayStation 5?
No.
Or the PlayStation ever?
The people that bought
just who have Astrobot.
Astrobot, the people that bought Astrobot, 1.5 million people on the PlayStation 5. It's only on PlayStation 5. Okay, haven't played a first-party title in 2 years.
All right, well then let's back up. That to me is a short number anyway.
Sure, it's a small portion of a group of a small portion of a group.
Right, they were trying to make that sound more important than it is. Now that I'm thinking about it the way you said it, now, so how many PlayStation 5s were sold?
There's 61 million, I think, at the last time we know.
So 60 million people have a PlayStation 5. 1.5 million of them bought Astrobot. And 37% of the 1.5,
yeah, which is like 250,000, 300,000 or something like that. Yeah,
those people don't fucking care anyway. Don't fuck them. They don't. They don't buy games. That's not a gamer. Those are just the super casuals.
The reason I bring this up, and again, I'm not taking anything away from Astrobot.
Let me get the number on that. Hang on.
I'm trying to mostly point out to people that Astrobot's not selling 5 billion copies. At least not now. Okay? But it's going to be a successful game because it probably only cost them anywhere, and again, I don't know, probably between 50 and I would say 50 to 80 million. With marketing, I would say like 100 mil. So they would have to make about
555,000 people haven't bought a first person title. Who cares?
Right.
That's less than a. Please, please.
Right.
That number's minuscule. We don't even have to bother even talking about. Let's never mention this article again.
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to say something about Astrobot and like the first party titles. I was like, that sounds weird. Now that we broke it down, like that's absolutely doesn't mean shit.
The only reason I was bringing it up is because a lot of people were like, Astrobot is selling, because there was a list that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, and because it was number 2 on the list behind FC 25, which is the football game that EA makes.
Right.
They're like, Astrobot sold like millions of copies. And I'm like, no, it doesn't mean that, because FC 25 is on every console platform everywhere. Right. So that could be 10 million copies sold. And then PlayStation's Astrobot is number 2. And in that month, yes, it was the number 1 selling game because it just came out, but it doesn't mean it sold 5 million copies. I said it's probably much less than that. Well, now we have proof. It's 1.5 million, right? So that's why I was bringing it up. Yeah,
we're fine.
Next story, Sarge, I want to bring up is the, remember that Kentucky Fried Chicken console that they had?
It wasn't a console; it was an oven that you.
It was a warm up chicken.
We all made fun of it because who's having greasy chicken fingers and trying to get on their controller? Like what kind of animal are you?
So now there's Pizza Hut's new pizza warmer uses the PlayStation 5's heat to keep your pizza hot, and you can 3D print your very own pizza warmer for free. So this is what it looks like. and yeah, you 3D print it and you put it up on top of your PlayStation.
I don't understand why would you do this kind of stuff? Like, who's trying to heat pizza with their fucking game system? Like, what is the purpose of this?
These are the people that Krebsy said in the beginning were on just a lazy boy or bust. These people don't want to get up. They have their PlayStation right next to them.
Their diet consists of like Funyuns, Pizza Hut, and like
Dorito fingers and G Fuel
Monster. Yeah. Makes no sense. By the way, when you cover up your PlayStation like this to heat pizza up, you're not letting the heat dissipate quickly enough. It's concentrated in one area. It heats up your system.
Yeah, no, it's going to the pizza now, Sarge. It's heating up the pizza.
Heat transfer doesn't work that way. What kind of science class you guys went to? Like, that doesn't work that way. Yes, it's going to keep the pie warm, but meanwhile, your system runs hotter because the heat's directly on top of the damn system.
It's not about the system, Sarge. They don't care.
Why do you think there's fans and heat sinks that rapidly push heat away so it dissipates the heat?
They care about the warm pizza, Sarge. That's what they care about.
90%. Here's a number. Here's a statistic I'm just going to throw out. 90% of gamers will eat pizza at any temperature. They don't give a shit.
Right. They'll eat cold pizza, warm pizza,
they don't
lukewarm pizza. They don't care.
They don't care.
Day-old pizza. They're
couch pizza.
Yeah, couch pizza, floor pizza. They'll just be like, dust it off. They're like, it's... it's got some dog hair on it.
It's got to be like the dumbest. Okay, bring out the big book of bull. Bring it out. Bring out the big book of bull.
Big book of bull. Okay, big book of bull.
I'm writing this one down. I'm putting a date on it and everything.
Okay.
Right. 11 was the 14th.
Yep.
Okay. 2024. Okay. Now, the prediction is this comes out. People start using it because
you can 3D print it. It's a 3D printer.
It comes out meaning like people start doing it.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
I know no one's buying this. I got it. All right. So now the percentage of people who've got a 3D printer, small, but yeah. I'm still gonna do this. I'm gonna say before I'll give it 6 months. Okay. You got to get some time for people to talk about it. That they're going to blow up their PlayStation.
And they're going to sue Pizza Hut.
They're going to try to sue either Pizza Hut and or PlayStation for somebody telling them to do this, and it blew up their system.
I can see that. I can see that happening.
Suing
Pizza Hut lawsuit in the future.
Pizza Hut. Suing Pizza Hut. Yep. And or Sony.
We might be stacking the deck, though, Sarge. Someone in chat, right? Yeah, someone in chat might hear this and go, "Yeah, I'll do it," just so Sarge is correct.
No. I don't want to say this is a gimme, but I'm going to say someone's going to blow up their system and then blame somebody for it. That's
for sure.
I'm going to put this on the board up here.
They wouldn't blame themselves, Sarge. They would blame Pizza Hut.
Well, I don't know if you could blame Pizza Hut.
It's got a fucking Pizza Hut logo on the thing.
Is it Pizza Hut's idea to print out the 3D thing? Is it theirs? Because if it is, then I want to add one more thing to this then.
Pizza Hut has melded a desperate worlds of bread, cheesy foodstuffs, console gaming with Pizza Warmer. The innovation of a design is set on top of Sony PlayStation 5 console and keeps your takeaway of choice piping hot while you enjoy a heated gaming session. This isn't new retail product, right? It's a giveaway. Pizza Hut Canada has made a 3D printing source file free for anyone who signs up to down. There's got to be some sort of a TOS or something that you signed that says we're not responsible if your PlayStation blows up.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I'm going to add a little asterisk on top of this. I think that not only will someone get sued for this, but Pizza Hut will then go under. Right?
Yeah, I don't think Pizza Hut's going to go under.
Yeah, Pizza Hut's going to go under.
Not because of this.
Pizza Hut Canada will go under.
Oh, all right. Well, if you're getting
Pizza Hut
specific, Pizza Hut Canada.
I'm going to write that down. We're going to put that
That's funny. They'll never do it again. The stock will drop. I'll guarantee that.
Pizza Hut
blamed in PlayStation 5 scandal.
Collapses. Yeah, collapses. Yeah, pizza collapses.
This is a hell of a prediction, Sarge.
Yeah. But I think I got to win on this one.
I will laugh my ass off if I see one day come across our Discord and it says Pizza Hut being sued for 3D printed warmer. I will literally lose my shit if this happens.
I'm going for that one. All
right. Well, you got it. It's in the big book of bull, so you got it. All right. So let's go to the next story. Jesus Christ, pizza warmer on a fucking thing.
It's fucking idiotic, bro.
Speaking of lawsuits, sorry.
It's just idiotic.
Speaking of lawsuits, we have another lawsuit. We have a class action lawsuit for
let's
Ubisoft. Ubisoft is
They're still on this. They're still on this.
Ubisoft is facing class action lawsuit for shutting down The Crew. Okay, so there's a group of people that are trying to sue this class action lawsuit, and the plaintiffs, want to bring the class action lawsuit against Ubisoft's Entertainment SA, Ubisoft Inc., on behalf of themselves and all others similar situated for shutting down The Crew. Now, the plaintiffs have accused Ubisoft of duping them in several ways. Firstly, they stated that Ubisoft misled consumers by telling them they were buying a game. Okay, when in fact all they were doing is renting and was limited license to access the game. Okay,
that's correct.
The plaintiffs have also alleged that Ubisoft omitted material facts from the packaging of the marketing of The Crew, and it was stated that Ubisoft didn't mention that The Crew servers could be shut down at any point. Okay, this is before live service. This is before all the stuff, right? When The Crew first came out. Yeah. So without providing a minimum of offline mode for consumers to continue to access the game they paid for. Now, moreover, they bought physical discs, believing that The Crew itself was encoded on the physical discs. Consumers could buy the digital files. Consumers could pay to download. Instead, the game was on remote servers, and the physical disc acted like a key access to the server. Now, the plaintiffs stated that when they purchased The Crew physical disc, they believed the game would also be playable indefinitely without the risk of being disabled. And they also gave examples stating that Ubisoft had shut down online servers for games like Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, and more in the past, but the patched an offline mode later. Now, however, in this case, The Crew is even more community backlash. Ubisoft responded stating that the offline features of other games from the Crew franchise of Crew 2, Crew Motorfest, would also be preserved, but the original Crew was left out of this list. Now, the plaintiffs have demanded a trial by jury, and I think this is very important, to aggregate the claims of all members of the proposed class action access of $5 million. Now, the reason I think they want in front of an audience, Sarge, and
no
not
settlement. No settlement,
and they want to make it clear to the jury, right? Like, hey,
of what's going on.
You bought this, you don't own it. This is where we stand, right? And they make the choice if it's guilty or not, instead of being in a boardroom where they're like, here's go away,
right?
Type of thing, right?
Right, and everybody gets 12 cents.
Right, everyone gets 12 cents,
and a class action lawsuit where you all got 12 cents,
right? And maybe some Ubisoft coins that you can use on the next game,
right?
Because they wouldn't even give you 12 cents. They would just give you the Ubisoft coin that you can spend. So what do you think about this, Sarge?
Well, the flow chart of this type of behavior has pretty much been constant, right? The last nickel, right? The power of controlling the product that you own is no longer yours. You are basically renting a game. And then when they decide that the game's not worthy enough for them to pay for the servers anymore, you don't get to play for that game anymore.
Right.
Right. Everyone's pretty much not saying anything because they just haven't done it to a game that you have yet. But this is going to happen to everybody. Right. And the battle for the preservation of games, not because we're trying to preserve it like in historical monuments and like we got to keep every game on the planet. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I paid for the motherfucker. I get to play it until I break it, right? That's the difference, right? I don't care if then you better make it where it runs on person-to-person servers. Like have your friends kind of let it run person-to-person, whatever. But you can't just turn it off because you feel enough time has passed and we've all moved on, right? That's not how this works. So I'm hoping that it goes to a jury trial and they actually win because otherwise, you need to set some kind of precedent because otherwise, this is going to happen to everybody.
I think it's more important that we get protected, like consumer protection, right?
Yeah,
there's no consumer protection
every week for like the last 5 years. Yeah.
There needs to be something done as far as that.
I mean, all you're basically telling me is I don't own my game.
Right.
Every time you guys come out with something that's more convenient for me, this is the battle cry. Well, it's very convenient. I can just download it wherever I am. I can just get it wherever I want, anytime you want. It's totally convenient. Except that after a certain amount of time, the convenience just goes away and you don't even actually have it anymore. So how convenient is that? That I just don't own it anymore.
Right.
So really, the game should cost $3. right?
Why not?
Because I don't own it.
Yeah, why not? If you want to own it, then it costs this much. But if you don't own it, it's just.
This is all very slippery slopes.
What about if they do that way, Sarge? What about if you no longer can buy games? You only have to play through Ubisoft Plus.
No, I am not. I am not giving anybody.
No, I understand that.
Any more monthly payments.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
For whatever answer you want to give.
No, but what I'm saying is, what about if the companies do that? What about they're like, all right, fine, you can't own the game, so you can't never buy the game anymore. It's only on their service.
I'm hoping that I'm long gone before there are no more personal products and everything is a monthly maintenance fee. To have entertainment, to have anything. Everyone just keeps, it's another hand in your pocket. Oh, you want to have some fun this month, right? That's mine. Like that. No. I chose to buy it. It's mine till I'm gone. That's it. That's how it's supposed to be. It's my game. Right? The whole licensing thing has gotten all kinds of twisted too. Right? Because, right, think of all the hurdles that they had to jump through to sell you something that you couldn't mass produce or copy or anything else. You played it and it's yours, and they just had to suck it up because you bought the license. Part of the price of the game was the license fee for making the game, right? And now because it's digital, all that seems to just disappear. All the rules that there were before all of a sudden disappear. Well, they don't actually have it, so now I get to screw them any way I want.
Right.
What? What changed? Well, how is the licensing verbiage different on the digital long I agree form as opposed to the one that was in the manual that I don't get anymore? What was the difference? Right? Obviously, those words have changed because I don't have them anymore.
Real quick, Waterbear says, you mean like Game Pass? Like Game Pass says, nope, only streaming. Well, no, you can buy the game, right? So here's the difference, right? So if you don't buy the game, and you're only playing on Game Pass, you stop paying for Game Pass, you stop owning the game, you stop playing the game. But if I buy the game, like if I bought Starfield, and then Starfield all of a sudden is no longer, they shut even though it's not an online game, but they shut the servers down.
They shut the servers down.
Now I can't play the game. That's a difference, right? If I'm paying you a monthly fee and I stop paying that monthly fee, it's just like World of Warcraft. I'm playing an MMO. I bought the MMO, right? But if I stop paying the monthly fee, then I can't play it anymore, right? That's how that works. So it is a slippery slope, but they're just, the overall thing of this is there has to be something put in place to protect consumers, to let us know, which they are doing in California. They said that they put in that, instead of saying buy now, it'll say like rent or lease or licensed or something. So okay, I buy this, means I don't own it. Yeah, they're going to change the verbiage, which is not fixing the problem. It's just...
Yeah, but first of all, whether it was digital or physical, the rules are the same.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. You need to get a lawyer in here somewhere. We got to talk to somebody. They're the same. Whether it was digital or physical, the rules of the license were the same. It's mine in perpetuity. I purchased it. It's mine. Because I don't actually have it anymore, you guys decided to change a few lines inside your document. No, it's the same.
So perfect example, right? If I played Star Wars Outlaws, right? I played Star Wars Outlaws. I paid 18 months. I paid $18 for the month. I stopped paying it. I can't play the game anymore. That right off the bat, correct. I didn't buy it. So I bought it I played it for a much cheaper price, beat the game, and stopped playing the game, right? There's a DLC down the road. If I want to do it again, I rent it again for $18 for that month, play the game, right? That's telling me I don't own the game. I'm renting the game, right? But if I buy that game and then I can't play that game, Battleborn, right? I can't play the game. I didn't care about the MOBA part.
Transformers Destruction.
Right. Devastation. Yeah, Devastation. Right? When they delist license and stuff like that, that is the issue. So even if you have a license and says that use our property, that's great. But you got to let people know, hey, you don't own this. You do not own this. And people think they own the games and they don't own the games anymore. So, all right, the next thing I want to talk about, Sarge, is Sony is ending the adapter that makes the PlayStation VR work with PlayStation 5. Okay? So PlayStation VR owners have just 2 weeks request crucial of PlayStation 5 accessory. Now, Sony Interactive Entertainment has confirmed that it will soon stop supplying the PlayStation 5 adapter that allows the original PlayStation 5 VR headset to work on the console. Okay, I wonder why they're doing that, Sarge. In order for the PlayStation 5 owners to get the original PlayStation VR headset to work on the console, they need to request a free adapter for PlayStation camera, which is also only method for support for the PlayStation 5 HD cameras, does not support the oldest headset. Now, as of SIE support website, as of November 26, 2024, until supplies last, the PlayStation camera adapter will no longer be available. The newer PlayStation VR 2 headset, though, for PlayStation 5 is not backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4 original PlayStation VR games. So once the PlayStation camera adapter is no longer available, there will be no official options to play these games on the PlayStation 5. So the summer of PlayStation VR 2 received a significant price cut, biggest ever, ahead of the release of the PlayStation-compatible device of PC adapter was released in August for $59 and select retailers. The PlayStation 5 VR feature like HDR headset feedback, eye tracking, adaptive right? So basically they said, hey, our PSVR 2 sales are down, which we know this. They actually stop producing the headsets, and they have to get rid of the headsets that are on the shelf now, right? No one's buying them, so they have to stop giving the adapter piece to the other people, so then they can go, oh, shit, I can't get that anymore, so I have to buy a new headset. You see how that works?
Do you understand how that's not consumer friendly at all? Right? Do you understand why I push further and further away from certain companies? Because all you guys do is go against the consumer. That's all this is. You're not selling a product, so you're gonna force me to buy something else again because I have a way around it. I don't want to buy it. I have a way around it. Well, we don't want you to use the old headset. We want you to use the new headset. So We're going to stop any possible way for you to use the old one on the new system. And that's how we get around it. Like, that's not consumer friendly at all. Right? Neither is what would happen to Travis. And neither is the video I sent to you about the pirate software. That guy, that video I sent you.
Yeah. Thor.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason why he doesn't buy PlayStation stuff anymore.
Which is because
completely valid.
Well, because of Helldivers 2, because of the 180 countries that can't play the game because they can't get a PSN network.
Like why would I want to give you any money, Sony? Right. You're not showing me that you're any kind of customer play. All you're trying to do is encapsulate a market that can't make a choice. You just have to be there. That's it. Like, all right, enjoy.
Well, speaking of villains from Batman, Dustin, you think I'm the Batman villain? Right? Here's a Batman villain waiting to show up. Mr. EA CEO Android Wilson reportedly being considered for the top Disney job, taking over the job for, oh my God, can you imagine if this man becomes...
Yeah, a matter of fact, I know what day one's going to be. Day one's going to be, they're going to put his exact animatronic wax statue directly into the Hall of Presidents. Exactly. And you know what that is? One day a week, it'll really be him, and no one will be able to tell the difference.
Here's the thing with this guy. Okay, I actually
he looks like a level 20 vampire. I guess to walk around in the sunlight.
Jack. He's Handsome Jack. Look at him.
Oh, for sure, Handsome Jack. Yes,
he's Handsome Jack. Listen, I said this jokingly. Okay, like sometime last year when Chapek was in office, Krebsy said Bobby Kotick could be the next head of Disney. I jokingly said, I think based off of what he said, I said, or what about, Andrew Wilson from EA, right? Someone like that, like jokingly. And here we are. He might actually be in the running. It says, according to the Wall Street Journal, who claims that the Australian-born Wilson is currently one of the 3 external candidates for the frame for the job. Internal candidates being considered the role included Disney Entertainment for co-chair Diana Walden, Alan Bergman from ESPN chairman, Jimmy Pintaro, and Disney Experience chairman Josh DeMauro. Okay, and then this guy. Look, Disney, you can't do this, right? You're in such a shithole as it is, and Mr. Microtransaction galore guy over here. All right, and Disney is already microtransactioning people. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, but the new Lightning Pass, it's like $400, right? $400 per person to get on rides.
Fast Pass, yeah.
For Fast Pass.
$400
right?
each.
This dude's probably jerking off.
Each.
He probably heard that news and was like, "Oh my God." Yeah, he was probably
place I gotta work.
Yeah, I gotta work there, baby. Like, he was so excited about the $400 microtransaction for the line. He's like, how can I get a piece of this? Right?
I can charge for straws. I can charge for napkins. I can charge for water bottles that they can refill.
This guy right here is the reason that Madden and FIFA are the way they are. He's the one that came up with. This is why he got promoted into the chairperson office where he is. Okay, he's the one that brought in the all Madden shit. He's the one that implemented all this stuff. Okay, what do you think he's gonna do to Disney? He's like, oh yeah, I got wet dreams. I've been dreaming of doing stuff over here. This is going to be absolutely insane if he gets the job, but we'll see what happens. $400. I better.
It's like hiring Satan to work at Disney World.
Todd the Gator, for $400, I better be able to give a long line in the bird as I walk on the ride. Yeah, seriously, like what in the hell? All right, so that's that. I'm gonna skip the Ubisoft one. I want to go to this one, which is because what time is it? It's 9:25. All right, so Microsoft, okay, and this is basically what the title of the episode is called, For the People in the Back, okay? For the people in the back, I've been saying what Microsoft is trying to do with their brand for years now, okay? Microsoft, even though they said it in bits and pieces, have never actually come out and said what they're trying to do until today, Sarge, okay? For the people in the back, okay, they came out with this ad campaign.
This made me feel so good, bro, because we've been saying this shit for 5
right?
years.
For the people in the back, okay, they've been saying, or I've been saying,
buckle up, kids.
Saying, okay, I've been saying that they're trying to go everywhere and do everything. So this is an ad they came out with for the, put on the internet or whatever, okay, where it says this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox for your lap, which is a laptop computer. This is an Xbox that tags along, which is a mobile device, which is not an Xbox, right? It's not theirs. Okay, that's a cat. It's a litter box. It doesn't play video games, but it's just a litter box. This is an Xbox that goes on the wall, which is a television set, which is like the Samsung TVs. Okay, this is an Xbox that makes a call, which is a mobile phone device that also can link up with the backbone and whatnot. Okay, this is a bento box, delicious, by the way. I love bento boxes. Okay, this is an Xbox on the inside, which is the Fire Stick that you just plug into your television and make it. This is an Xbox that you wear, which is the headpiece, which Meta said that we're making just standalone Xbox headsets and gym ones and everything else. And then this is an Xbox, which is the Xbox Series S. And this is what they've been saying, well, what I've been saying the entire time. And everyone's like, they don't know what they're doing. They've lost. They're not making consoles anymore.
I know exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
Can you play the commercial? Can you play the commercial?
Yeah, let me bring up the commercial.
I thought this was amazing. When I saw this, I was like, "Yep, everybody, welcome to the club now. Well, welcome to the club."
This is finally, I think, this is what Xbox is finally marketing. They're finally marketing what I've been saying, which they've been doing, but they've never shown it. They've never said it. They've never shown it to what it is. And so this is a commercial from them.
This for that. This for that. This for that. This for that. Who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Know who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Well, you heard the others. Oh, he's still the lovers. Then, of course, the choice is yours. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think we'll get with this, for this is where it's at. Where it's at. Come on. This for that. This for that. This for that.
All right, so we're going to get DMCA'd for that, which is fine. I'll just mute the music when it goes through. But I think that's a good commercial for them.
That's perfect.
Because that's telling everything what they're doing.
That's perfect commercial for what's going on. Absolutely perfect.
Okay. Now, in an interview with Phil Spencer, Bloomberg had an interview with him, and he was saying that there's no red line, no red tape or whatever he said. Okay, where anything's open, right? So Halo could come to PlayStation, any first party title game could come to any console, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever. Nothing's off the table. But he also didn't say what's on the table. He just said nothing's off the table. It's which he said last year. He said it's a case by case, or earlier this year, it's a case by case scenario, right? And for some strange reason, everyone's losing their mind because they're like, if Halo goes off of Xbox, it's over. And it's like, Halo has been off Xbox for 2 decades. You could play Halo on a Mac. I understand people back then in 2003, no one really played video games on a Mac. I did. Okay. But you could play Halo in 2003 on a Mac. Okay. No one was complaining then. No one was complaining that Halo and Microsoft is going under because somebody else could play Halo not on an Xbox. Okay. And for some strange reason, I don't understand why people are so. The people that are Xbox fans that feel betrayed, they're like, well, what did I buy an Xbox for? Well, we just showed you a commercial, right? Where you don't have to buy an Xbox. They've said that you don't have to buy an Xbox, right? You don't have to buy an Xbox, right? And everyone's like, Xbox is dead. You can play it anywhere. So let me get this straight. You're pissed off. So I'm just trying to put myself in this position. I'm an Xbox fan. Halo is now going to PlayStation. I'm like, I don't know why the reason I have an Xbox. I'm going to sell my Xbox. I'm going to go buy a PlayStation so then I can play Halo on it. Does that make any sense, Sarge? No. You're just going to be like, I'm going to play Halo wherever. I can play it on my phone. I can play it on my TV. I can play it on my laptop. I can play it over here. I can play it over there. I can play it with a fox, with a box, and a hat, and a cat, whatever. Whatever.
They don't understand it, though, because they keep thinking that the box is the thing. Right? The ownership of the piece of plastic is the thing. That's not the thing. They want you to be able to play a game on any device that you have in your home, including your home, right? That's the whole deal. And you pay the service for the convenience of that.
Right.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Nobody got it. Everyone's been fighting us the whole time. They've been fighting you forever. And I'm like, there's the commercial now. So for now, let's see how long the brain drain is going to work when this commercial comes out, and let some months pass through the holidays, and let's see how people talk like in February and March and going like, I just got my phone. I don't have to buy nothing.
Well, Mo was making a conversation the other day in Discord. He was saying, we were going back and forth, and I was like, I don't understand why people are upset about this, because if you're a PlayStation guy and you're like, I don't like Xbox games, then you're not going to purchase the game when it comes to PlayStation anyway. I mean, you're not even buying the games that are on your own system, right? You're playing third-party games anyway. So you might be more willing to buy a third-party game from Xbox coming over than your own first-party titles. But regardless of that, okay, regardless of that, they're playing the most games right now being played on planet Earth are Fortnite, Minecraft, Call of Duty, and there's like a couple of others, right? Let me repeat. Minecraft, which is Microsoft, Call of Duty, which is now Microsoft, right? So it doesn't matter. Like, you're playing on your box of choice. You're playing Call of Duty or Minecraft on PlayStation, and Microsoft is getting paid. And here's the beauty part, which Mo brought up as well. Big Mo said, if they're playing Microsoft games on a PlayStation, then they're not playing PlayStation games on a PlayStation, right?
That's correct.
So you own the box, but you're not playing the games that are on that box because you're playing their games from another thing. So that's more eyes on their product, okay? And vice versa for PlayStation, right? PlayStation's putting their games, MLB The Show. When you're playing it on the Xbox, you're playing a Sony game on an Xbox device, okay? You're not playing an Xbox, right? We all have the same amount of time in the day. We all have the exact same time. You can't put yourself in two places. You can't play two games at the exact same time, okay? So you only can play one game at a time. So whatever game that is, and if the other game can be a Trojan horse where their games are starting to come onto your platform, you don't have to play them, but there are people playing it, and that's more money into Xbox's pocket, right? That's why Microsoft is putting games on third party. That's why PlayStation's putting their games on third party, because they want to get more money. This is why Ubisoft is putting their games on more platforms and they're putting it on Steam day and date. This is why Square Enix is not doing an exclusive deal with PlayStation anymore, and they're going everywhere, right? It's on and on and on. The industry is telling us what it's doing. The industry is saying no more exclusives, okay? Third parties going everywhere. Microsoft saying, hey, we lost the console wars, which they've said multiple times. Okay. And they're like, now we're doing this. And everyone's like, yeah, they're done. They're done. And meanwhile, we read what last week or 2 weeks ago, they now have, they didn't make, but they now own $21 billion franchises, okay, in their repertoire, their portfolio.
You gotta move the comma. They owned
20,
1 million.
No, $1 billion franchises. Yeah. Right. So I think this is like the smartest thing they've finally done. Right. Someone in the marketing department's like, hey, why don't we make a video
that tells them what the fuck we're doing?
To tell something. I feel like what Microsoft just did is what BioWare did with Anthem. When they showed Anthem at E3 that year, they're like, oh shit, that's what we're making. We're making that game over there. That's what we're going to do, right? They didn't know what they were making until they showed the trailer. They finally showed the industry what Microsoft is doing by being everywhere. How it took this long is beyond me, okay? But now, this is what it is, everybody. This is what it is for the people in the back. This is what Microsoft is doing. They don't care about just the console. It's about all of these things, and that's why it works. If it was just Game Pass wouldn't work, okay? But because it's Game Pass on all of these devices, and now you're opened up to 1.8 billion over here, you're opened up to 3.5 billion people on mobile over here, you have the 100 million people over there, right? The small percentages of these things over here, they're going to raise up, and they've already moved the Ultimate Game Pass to $20 only on Ultimate, right? Day and dates only on Ultimate, okay? On PC, I think you pay $11.99 for the Ultimate, right? So more people are paying for Ultimate. More people are paying that. They're already making 450 million that we know of the 35 million people that are doing it. That's not including people that pay for World of Warcraft now monthly, right? That do all that stuff on the other side. That's not including the microtransactions and the season passes and all the other stuff that they're making digitally. So it's about time that Microsoft is finally showing what they're actually doing and what they have planned, I guess. Right, so I don't see a big deal if Halo or Gears or whatever comes out on different platforms. It's just if we were both on separate platforms and not on the same platform, Sarge, and games that we're playing on, well, we could play there, right? How many times we start a game on stream and everyone's like, "Oh, is this crossplay? Is this crossplay?"
No,
sorry, right?
No.
That's almost gone. That's almost gone. And more games are now crossplay. Right,
it is almost gone.
So, you have anything to add to this as I ramble?
No, because I have been waiting for your vindication of repeating the same shit every fucking month for years about what Xbox is doing, and someone still to this day will come in and start planting the blue flag or the green flag and start defending boxes. Like, they don't care. Here it is.
Right.
Here's the ad. It's done now. All right. We're done. This is what they're doing. Nobody cares about the box. Nobody cares.
People care, but not very many. Yeah. Another thing, what's really, really good, Sarge, is there's a new game coming out. It's called Maximum. I think it's called Maximum Football. Okay. Maximum Football is a Madden-esque type of game. Okay, it's a football game to compete against Madden. It just looks exactly like Madden, okay? And it's coming out into Xbox in December. Right now, I believe it's only on PC, okay? So last week, Maximum Football released an early access on Steam. Okay. The independent football game is highly anticipated and currently sits in a mixed user rating. Steam, a week into early access. One of the biggest questions following the release, though, is when the game comes to console. Today, we finally got an answer to this question. Okay, today, Maximum Entertainment announced that Maximum Football will come to Xbox Preview on December 10th, 2024, and the Xbox Preview allows players to try out the games while it's in development. The game preview titles will also be found in the Microsoft Store and Xbox consoles by searching through the game preview. So, Maximum Football is basically Madden football, but it doesn't have the NFL licensing, right? It looks really good. I've always been a component of pushing other football games like Legend. What the hell is the other one? Chat, help me out. It's the Pixel one. I can't Legend something. I can't think of it. Chat will help me out here. But there's a pixelated football game. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic football game. It reminds me of the old school Madden type of stuff, or Temple Bowl, Legend Bowl. Thank you very much, Dolphin. Right, and now they have this as a competition for Madden for another game.
I was just about to ask. There's Nate. He mentioned it right there. So I got a question. I'm totally out of the loop. I just have a question. The reason why Madden is so successful is because they're allowed to have the NFL teams, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what if the game doesn't have NFL teams, but a third party you're allowed to download the teams.
That'd be a mod, yeah.
Into the game, and then Xbox can't. The devs can't be blamed for. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
they could.
Is
They
that
could tell them to take
possible?
it. Yeah, they could tell them to take it down off the store though for people to download. But people are going to do what people are going to do. You know what I mean?
No, but what I'm saying is, if that's the only hiccup in this whole battle that we
It's
can't
just
compete,
It's just like TCG Card Simulator has Pokemon mod in here, so all the cards go to Pokemon, right?
Right.
The developers didn't put that in there. Modders created it and put it in there.
That's what I mean.
But,
So if
but
a mod does
Pokemon, Nintendo could go up there and say, you better take that off, otherwise you're going to get sued. Right? They
yeah, but,
could
then,
100% do that.
but all they did was have the roster for the teams. They didn't make the game.
True. I mean, you could. There's games that, like, for instance, there was a baseball game I used to play that you could make your own teams and create your own logos and stuff like that. And I had like Apple and Netflix and Windows. I made all my own teams and stuff like that.
Once again, I'm for competition.
Sure. So am I.
I'm done listening to EA have control of all the soccer, all the football. Like, it's just nonsense. I've been waiting for this for a while. I want somebody to come out with another football game, but I want them to circumvent this whole nonsense about we control the NFL team, so you can't have them. Like, that's nonsense.
Yeah. Nate says they're just gonna keep updating it. Yeah, and I'm for this. I'm for a competitor to Madden because Madden has had a lockdown for fucking 20 years. Okay, and Madden is so stale. Right, I stopped playing Madden because they don't do anything different. They take stuff out and bring stuff back. They don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to.
Why would they?
Right. So they need competition. Competition will make the industry better. Right. NFL, if they were smart, they wouldn't have taken the license deal with EA. They would take their license and put out as many people's.
That's a favor. Someone knows somebody, bro. They take those.
Mr. Android Wilson.
Those kind of deals are backdoor stuff. Somebody owes a favor for somebody else, and the conversation of a multi-million-dollar contract for a video game involving the NFL means nothing to those guys.
Yeah,
it's like you borrowing. It's like, hey, I did your house, I did your roof the last 3 years. So you're going to do me a kickback, right? It's like, you're going to give me that NFL contract for my video game? Yeah, done deal. Like, that's not competitive. That's not a free market system. That's you encapsulating the NFL teams to one game only, and that's the only one.
Right. Well, the last story I want to talk about, Sarge, then we'll do Q&A, is Battlefield Bad Company. I saw this story, and I was like, I got to talk about this on GXG, right? So I've always said that Battlefield Bad Company 2 is the pinnacle of Battlefield, okay? Even though Battlefield 3 and 4 were more popular in player numbers, Battlefield Bad Company 2 encompassed the whole entire thing for me with the single-player campaign, the multiplayer matches, the destructible environment. Everything about it was just the pinnacle of it, right? So Battlefield Bad Company's original lead is happy to bring his ideas for a third game to life, but he knows that EA won't do it, okay? He says... Let me scroll down a little bit here. David Goldfarb says, and the name should be familiar to many shooter fans, especially those who enjoy the Bad Company games as well as Payday 2. Goldfarb also helped create these seminal shooters that also remember to bring something new to their respective subgenres. Okay, Goldfarb, however, left the AAA scene for more focused, smaller projects years ago with the Outsiders in his studio. He explored other areas of the shooter space, such as the highly acclaimed rock shooter, Metal Hellslinger. But there's also every universe in which is the back leading a new Bad Company game. The answer may actually be yes, despite on how unlikely that is actually to happen. Now, Goldfarb, who wrote to the outline of the story of a third Bad Company, told PC Gamers N that he'd be open up to going back to working for a Battlefield game again. He says, "I'm right there," he said, and EA, they know where I am and they what I can do. Despite the willingness, however, Goldfarb doesn't feel that EA would ever greenlight a new Bad Company game or sequel to that original series. He says there aren't any games like Bad Company at the production quality anymore, he explained. Quote, most big productions will not take those bets because they believe that they can't look backwards to predict the success, and looking backwards makes Bad Company and its humor approach look like an anomaly. Okay, Bad Company, of course, had a distinct identity amongst military shooters of that era, and the campaigns both featured lighter tones that also, while set in war zones, only really used as a backdrop. The focus instead was the cast a cast of lovable characters, even if the back then and they pitched wasn't easily approved by EA's higher ups, according to Goldfarb. He says, I can't speak for anyone else, but I know that was collective feeling that we also had our own identity with Bad Company. Weird or not, it was also going to get enjoyed making it, he said, and actually something of a miracle that it got done anyway. Okay, so if the publishers are looking for unique projects, why aren't they doing likely to see a Bad Company 3? The answer, according to the veteran game designer, is that it'd be too risky, okay, because of what the game is. So it's a shame because I think they could have done a Bad Company 3 to kind of reset, give them because 1 and 2 were both successful for that game franchise. And then they kind of went off the rails with the Hardline, you know what I mean? And after Bad 3 and 4, and then they went off with Hardline, and then they just didn't know that Battlefield 1, which Battlefield 1 now is a much better game. It's actually one of my favorite games of Battlefield, I have to be honest. But man, I really hope that they do Battlefield 3, Bad Company 3 someday.
Not going to happen.
It's too risky.
Well, everything they do is risky because everything is bloated. All their budgets are bloated. I don't believe they have one true accountant working in any of these AAA companies. Not one real accountant. Somebody that understands how much money it's going to take to actually put out a product. Like they know money, right? But they don't know money in the terms of how many of these people do we need to make the game and how long it's going to take. Like they can't factor that in. Like they don't know. Like a budget for the game could be 50 million. It could be 300 million. We don't know. It's somewhere in there. Like what? Like you guys don't know. Like. And the cherry on the shit cake that we all have to eat now is we have all decided to cling to the names of these IPs as if they're going to carry us back to where we were. Like whatever you guys like name the IP that you like and you think that development team is the same. Every IP that we've ever liked that came out with the games that we loved growing up or in the last 5 years, okay? None of them, right? The answer is none of them. None of them have the same people working for them when they made the conquering games of the past. All we're loving is the name of the franchise. Everything else having to do with who works inside those companies are not there anymore. The skills aren't there anymore. The talent's not there anymore. Nothing's there. It's just the shell of the name. So until they prove to us that they have people working in those studios under those IP names that can actually do the game that they keep saying they're going to do, I don't care anymore.
Right.
I honestly don't care. Every time someone tells me there's a new game coming out by such and such development team, I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see when it comes out, right? Because I don't fall over backwards anymore or start pressing the pre-order button because EA makes something or Ubisoft makes something. Like I don't care. None of the talent that we know are there. You now have to look at the independent indie game market and see the guys who were once on those AAA games who are now starting over doing smaller games. And then we've got to pick those guys out again and put them back on the top shelf where they belong instead of listening to the rest of these cackling asses who think they can make a game and after 7 years release broken game and I got to wait 18 months to fix it and you want my money up front.
Right, which is like 7.5 years, right? Yeah. Krebsy says, oh, no, that's not the one. Where's Krebsy? He says, I'm going to believe a competition in a football game is pointless because if you can only do so much with a football game, like what new thing can be done? Well, I'll tell you exactly what could be done. What 2K was doing with their football game with ESPN, right? Where they were doing Chris Berman, giving you highlights, making you feel more like an actual thing. Maybe that's not part of like game mechanics, but to have competition, which EA was scared shitless. Okay, that's why they had the contract. They've had the contract ever since because they didn't want competition with the NFL. Because ESPN 2K was doing a much better football game than Madden was at that time. Yeah. And they said, no, we can't have that. And they didn't do much different. They just showed the highlights. They had a halftime segment, and Chris Berman was doing boom. He's on his back, right? You know, all this other.
I remember that
right?
game.
That's what could be different, right? Like make it look like a television production. Make it look like that, so the people that want that can get that, but. You can't get that if it's just EA making a football game. You know what I mean? Like, even Legend Bowl with the 8-bit Nintendo, like 8-bit Nintendo or 16-bit stuff, it's a superior game when you play it. You're like, man, this feels good. It feels like a good game. Madden is so like, it's just graphically intense to look at, and you're like, oh, wow, this is great. It's the same game over and over. And they're like, oh, now you got the hit stick. They take the hit stick out. Now you got the hit stick 5 years later. It's the same shit over and over.
But it's been proven, if you don't have competition, you don't have to improve. If my game is the only game in town, then I don't have to work on it for it to be successful. You don't have a choice. This is something that's blatant across the board in any part of the market, in any division of industry. If there's no competition, the product suffers.
Right.
They still make money. The bottom line looks good because I don't have a fucking choice, right? But nothing improves, right? But for some strange reason, when you have a bunch of companies trying to make first-person shooters or a bunch of companies trying to make sports games, all of a sudden all the games keep getting better every couple of years because everyone's trying to outdo each other.
Right.
Oh, wow, imagine that. Imagine.
Waterbear says Madden doesn't really have that. NCAA 25 almost did. Here's the funny part. EA made NCAA 25, and they made Madden 1 month after each other. And they put more stuff in the NCAA game than they did in their own Madden game. There's more features and stuff in this game than there is in this game. And that's not competition. That's their own game that they have, and yet they couldn't even keep up with their own game. Why? Because it would be too similar. Because one's college, one's football. But if they put the exact same things in each one, why would you buy the other one?
Why?
Right, just because of the team names and stuff. Right, so if Maximum Football can come in, and if Nate says that they can just download rosters, and they're okay with that.
He's saying upload of NFL teams and stadiums.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If that's true,
if they're just making the game and you just buy the game and you can just third party it as far as the updates and rosters, that will be a much bigger success than what Madden's doing, because Madden's nickeling and diming you for the same shit, and Maximum is like, yeah, we just want you to play our football game. We don't care what you do with it once you buy it. It'll be interesting. Real quick, we always talk about robots taking over the world, Sarge, right? I got a couple for you. Robert Jones sent me this. This is a PL robot dog, okay, that does missions. Hold on, let me stop that. Share screen. Is it this one? Yeah, this is this one. All right. Camouflage dog out in the doing some scouting. Okay, it's pretty cool, right? Guy, the sniper or the soldiers can stay in place. They put this this dog underneath some camo. They just have him go through. Does all the surveying for them. They can find the landmines. People just think it's an animal walking through the brush. You know what I mean? If it does get spotted and gets shot, it doesn't matter because they can pick it up later. It's got homing beacons on it. They're using this right now in the Ukraine. Okay, so that's one. Okay, the second one that I want to show you.
You're playing the wrong music. You need to play the Terminator music in the background when you play these.
Well, I'm not playing any music. It's muted.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm hearing music. I'm hearing music.
Well,
the sound for the video.
Oh, is there music?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing anything. Then there's this one. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Then there's this one. Okay. Then there's the gun mounted up on top of this goddamn thing.
That's what we said.
Okay. We've seen this before, yeah, but
we talked about gun on the all you have to do is put a gun on the boss of robotics dog, and there it is.
Yeah.
It's only been 6 months, bro.
There's mortars on the one they show. Yeah, here it is. This one's got mortars on top of it. Right? It's insane. We're not far now. Just a couple more years, Sarge. Walking down the street, robot dog, don't mind it. It's just doing its job.
Yeah, but see with the gun like this and the mortar, forget about feet. Put the wheels on it.
Oh yeah, I don't have that up, but
put the wheels on that one.
That one that we showed the other day with the wheels going up and down those mountains and just cruising, dude. I was like, what the hell? Look, it's gonna happen. The robots are taking over.
Walter, we're not joking, man. Everyone thinks we're joking when we say this. We're not joking. Like, you can't have manufacturing start making stuff like that, and you think they're not going to use them.
Right.
right? Military contracts are purposeful because you need to have wars to use them. And if we can have robots shooting at robots and they can make a killing, you don't think they're going to do it?
No. And the last thing,
your grandkid won't even be drafted for the military. He'll be drafted to drive the drone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like it'll be like The Gamer, the movie The Gamer, where the guys are control of the inmates.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wilson, we're gonna have to draft Tommy. She's like, oh my God, what's he have to do? He's gonna have to sit in an air-conditioned warehouse for the next 2 years, controlling robots against other robots for freedom.
Yeah, it's for his country.
It's gonna be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is this right here, Sarge. This is the world's first 7.1.2 channel surround sound speaker system for your chair. Okay, it's actually pretty smart. It's not the chair; it's just the speaker system. So let's watch this. No, it's not the seat. It's the speaker system. Dupless.
Hey guys, Spencer here from the Colo Light team, and I'm super excited to introduce you the GCS 712 gaming chair speaker system, a game changer for your gaming and movie nights. Have you ever dreamed of having Dolby Atmos right in your gaming room? With the Colo Light GCS speaker system, you'll get a full 712 surround sound experience that'll totally transform your gaming sessions. Imagine playing your favorite AAA games with immersive audio that feels like you're right there in the action. Right now, it's pretty tough to find a product out there that can compete with the GCS. Traditional soundbars, too bulky and pricey. Headphones, great for sound, but not so comfy after a while. And since the sound units are limited, they can't handle all the audio details of true multi-channel sound. The GCS, however, is here to tick all the boxes. It packs 11 independent speakers that...
Can I just say, for marketing a speaker system, the sound quality of this guy talking in a fucking warehouse with not a boom mic above his head is killing me. Can I just say that? He's got that microphone next to him, which is not a microphone you use in an open warehouse with no padding or anything on the wall. The echo is killing me. Sorry, just got to say that.
That decode 712 channels. That means you get 360 degrees of sound. The overhead channels and patented sound guiding design make sure the sound goes exactly where it's supposed to. By directing sound to your ears and surrounding your head with multiple speakers, it accurately recreates where every sound is coming from. The GCS also mounts right onto the back of your gaming chair, so you get epic sound without cluttering your desk. Plus, with a Sony high-res certification and a 20 to 40 kilohertz range, you're getting top-notch sound quality. Whether you're into FPS games, racing sims, movies, or hi-fi music, the GCS provides the ultimate sound experience, allowing you to clearly hear the roar of car engines in the race, the footsteps of your enemies, and even bullets whizzing past your ears. With GCS's theater-like sound, you'll have an immersive movie watching experience. With HDMI, HDMI ER, and Bluetooth support, it's compatible
His acting.
with your PC, PS5, Xbox, phones, and VR gear. Are you ready to upgrade your gaming setup with next-level surround sound? Don't miss out on the audio revolution. Get the GCS now!
Okay. I have to say, as a person, like with this on right now, if my wife or son needed me, it's really hard to hear, right? Like I'm blocked out. Like, so I could see the benefits of having instead of the speakers in front of you, having the surround sound around you, but you're still opened up to. But that's, personally for me. But God, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. It's gigantic. I see myself like turning and like smacking myself in the head with the arms and whatnot. I believe it's like $400 for this. I believe it's $400. What do you think, chat? Do you think it's good, bad, indifferent? What do you think?
We have technology now that can do what they're saying with a pair of glasses on your face.
Yeah,
like I don't understand why you would need something
where it just has the temple, like it hits
like
your
you
temple
just
right
wear,
here.
Right, yeah,
it echoes through your brain.
Yeah, you wear that little halo, and it does this. It could do the same thing. Like all this, like this seems to me amazing. 8 years ago,
this looks like something Nintendo would sell you.
Like 8 years ago, this was it. But you guys waited too long, and now you just have to scale it back and let me wear the halo.
Yeah.
It does the same thing.
That's true, Todd. That's true. That it might be in your peripheral vision and it might bug you. I think you're right. You know, I don't know. Look, when I first saw it, I was like, you gotta buy a fucking chair with the speakers on it, right? I was like, no. It is smart that it connects to any chair, right? That's the smart part with that. So is this the Concord chairs? Got it. So it's not the chair. It's not a chair. It's just the speaker. It's just the speaker system.
Forget about the chair. He just put it on that chair. He just put it on the
chair.
Speaker. You're just getting the speaker.
Yeah. It seems interesting. I mean, obviously, I think they could form factor it down just a little bit more.
How do you attach that to any chair?
What do you mean?
My headset doesn't look like that headset. How am I going to attach that to my head my chair?
Well, the headpiece doesn't connect to anything. It's just the straps that go on the back. If you look at it,
that seems to have a lot of weight in the front. How is it holding up? What kind of stress is on that thing that's holding it up that way?
He does say any gamer chair is what he does say.
Yeah, and what are you using? Duct tape to hold it on? Like, what do you show me how that attaches to the chair?
Wiggle the chair and it falls. Maybe. It's got to be on there pretty snug. I'm not putting $400 with duct tape.
This is what I'm saying. Like, can you go back to a scene where they actually show it attached to the chair, just so we can take a look? All right, those are straps.
Yeah, there's a plastic piece that goes up against the back of it, and then the straps are
wrapped
tight
around underneath behind the chair.
Yeah, it goes up and over, and then the straps are supporting it. It stabilizes.
So it's like a 4-point harness for the speaker.
Yeah, it's 4-point harness. 2 on the back, 2 on the front. Yeah.
Okay.
Wolverine says, would have failed miserably on Shark Tank. I have this chair. All right, I have this speaker system. It connects to any chair. And the Shark's like, it's a gamer chair, and for that reason, I'm out. No, it's not the chair. It's the speaker system. I don't really understand video games, so I'm also out. Kevin Leary says, I'll do a perpetuity deal with you, but for a high equity of the stuff, how much are you asking for?
Listen, if looking at that thing, I'm just laughing. Now, here's the other thing, right? Same thing. I put a hat on my head. I put the hat on my head, and it does the same sound thing, and it's just a hat. Like, that's where we are right now, guys. Like, that's where we are technology-wise. Like, I don't understand why I'm putting a giant boomerang and 4-point harnessing it onto my chair when I know right now there are things happening where there's a pair of glasses I could put on, and it has 5.0 sound coming out of the glasses. Like, I don't understand what we're doing right now.
If you could put a 7-point sound system around my glasses that I could just put on, or just they have it now.
It's called a halo. You just put it on your head like
that. Yeah, you see those speakers that go wrap around your ears. You know what I mean? Like the runners wear, and it goes through the bones, and you can hear all the sound and stuff. That's what you need. That's what you need.
I mean, this sound once again. This sounds amazing. 8 years ago. Right. The last commercial I saw was Ray-Ban sunglasses hooked up to Google, and some chick's asking the glasses which pool ball she should shoot. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on right now? I'm talking to my Ray-Bans. I'm talking to my Ray-Bans on my face to see what Google's going to tell me. Like, what am I looking at through the glass? Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
The future, Sarge. The future's happening right now.
I'm almost on the cusp of having to go out, bro. We gotta go someplace else. There's too much tech and not enough brains happening. All right. I know everything because my Ray-Bans told me.
What about if I'm using? What about if my gaming chair is a patio furniture chair? Can this work with that? Can it work with a plastic patio chair? How is that gonna? Is the sound system now go around my waist area?
Here's something for you. Since you can now buy the consumer version of the Boston Robotics dog for yourself for like $8,000 or some shit.
Yeah, it's $3,000, I believe.
It's only $3,000. It went down already.
I think it's $3,000.
So here's my question, and I know, I think this might be a big book of bull, but I think this might be a big book of bull. One more. One more big book of bull.
Big book of bull. Okay.
Now I might be too far back because technology moves so quickly.
You're already behind.
However, how long before someone gets 8 of those things in a Santa sled and does a robotic version of Santa and the 8 reindeer?
What?
The Boston
What?
Robotics dog.
Oh, I was like, I thought you were talking about the fucking chair still. I was like,
nope. The Boston Robotics dog. 8 ball, 8
2
8
years.
Do you think it's gonna take 2 years?
2 years. Not this Christmas. By next Christmas.
That's not 2 years.
Well, 2 Christmases.
2 Christmases, not 2 years.
1
The
year.
year's over, bro.
One year from
It's
now.
a year from now is what
1
you're
year
saying.
from now.
A year from now. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I was going to. That's what I.
1 year from now. So 2025, we'll see someone with the robotic. You know what? It could be happen. I'm going to look right now. It might already have happened.
You think it might already happen?
It might have already happened. Let me see.
They'll ruin this for me. But it has to be not like a billionaire did it. Like some random TikToker decided to get 8 of them and do the Santa Claus thing with it.
Well, Sarge, I hate to tell you.
Already?
I hate to tell you.
Already?
It happened a decade ago.
No, it did not. Not with the Boston Robotics dogs.
It happened a decade ago. Let me bring it up for you.
Are you being serious right now? But that's a business. I'm talking about like a consumer.
Okay, I'll bring it
A
up for you.
consumer.
Now you did say it's
8.
from Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
It is from Boston Dynamics. You said 8.
It's
Technically,
just
there's only 3.
It's-
So, but it happened back in 2015.
Fuckers.
I hate to break it to you.
Well, that's how you have to introduce something like that. You can't put an AK-47 on top of one of them. You got to make it a Christmas thing at first. Look
So there you
how
go.
festive they are.
It's already
All right.
happened.
All
Yep.
right.
Sorry, Sarge. The big bookable. It's That's it. You can't put it up on the thing.
That one's fun. All right.
You're only 9 years behind that one. Can't
But
have them all.
it's not a consumer. It's the actual people that are at the company, bro.
It's also missing 5 more robotic dogs. So, all right.
But it still can happen. It's a consumer that has it. That's the actual company that's doing
Yeah,
it.
I got you. The consumer. Gotcha. All right. No more questions. We got the questions from all of one person. It's actually 2, I think. 2 people. It's time for Q&A with Sarge. All right, we got 5 questions from 2 people. 5 questions from 2 people.
Why do you have to call them out like that? Just let them ask the questions.
Well, no, I'm saying it like that because
You want
we
people to
have-
ask more questions?
we have
Some people don't have questions.
36 people, and we have 2 people asking 5
Some
questions.
people don't give a shit, bro.
Well, put it in a question format. All right, first question.
Some people right now are saying they're in an important meeting for a job, but they're listening to us.
Could be.
Just let that go.
I mean,
Like someone's girlfriend's going, "Are you done with that yet?" And you're like, "Nope,
nope.
meeting's still on."
Yeah, meeting's still on. Ask a question. It can last longer. Okay. Do it for the annoying man with his girlfriend. Okay. First question comes from Krebsy. He says, now let's say Ubisoft wins the Crew lawsuit. Wouldn't this set a precedent for the industry to just further fuck the consumer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure would.
Yes.
That's why this is exactly why I said there needs to be laws and rules to consumer protection. That's exactly why I said that. I think that's it, right? We answered the question. Okay, that's good.
There's no other answer. The answer is yeah. Be fine.
Second question comes from Krebsy. Says, so let's say Android I have Android Wilson becomes Disney's CEO. Could you see Android in the position offer EA another exclusive deal, especially since he owns 100,000 shares of EA? Oh yeah.
Oof.
Oh, for sure.
Oof.
Yeah, that happens now with a lot of companies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are good. These are good questions. Technically not a question. It's more of a statement because we all know it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. But it won't happen right away, and it'll be sold by a third party for him.
He's like, oh, we lost the contract with EA. Oop. Hey, we got a new contract with EA. We have it for 30 years in perpetuity until I die or whatever. Yeah.
I think we should. I think Android now we just need to call him Handsome Jack. I think that's pretty much it.
Android Wilson sounds better.
No, because Handsome Jack is the most evil motherfucker on the planet, and
That's
so
true.
that's where he belongs.
Krebs says, did you hear that the Embracer is blaming Tolkien IP for low activity for the company? I need to see an eye roll. Wait a minute. He's blaming the IP of Lord of the Rings itself for low activity, not the shitty shows and games they're making. What? I'm sorry. Didn't that game come out? Tales of the Shire? What's the game sales on that? Anyone tell me the game sales? What? You know what? Let's go to Steam charts for that. What was it called? Tales of the Shire?
Fern Gully. Welcome to Fern Gully, the most wonderful place in the world.
Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Rings game. Okay, it's not out yet. Planned release is March 25th, 2025. Oh, all right, thank God. That's why we haven't heard anything about it yet. Okay, because I was like, what the hell? We haven't even heard this game. We saw some gameplay, but it's not out yet. So good for them. If you make a shitty product and no one sees it, is it the IP's fault, or is it the assholes running the IP? Because Lord of the Rings is one of the most popular movies of all time because Peter Jackson loved Lord of the Rings. And even though Lord of the Rings fans didn't love Peter Jackson's edition, it's still one of the most beloved films out there. Okay? Look at these assholes in Embracer. Oh, we blame the Tolkien IP for low activity.
Nobody takes accountability. It's disgusting. Nobody takes accountability. The fingers point everywhere but here. Everywhere. It's his fault. The color, the weather, this, that, the other thing. Like the money. Didn't like bigots, racists. The fingers go. Not one time did they go, we fucked up. We made bad choices.
Yeah. Next question. Altern says, would the next Xbox and PlayStation 6 have a pizza heater or disk drive included? No, definitely not.
No disk drive for sure.
Yeah, don't. You're lucky you get a controller.
But if the lawsuit doesn't go through, you can pretty much guarantee bagel warmer or hot pocket heater. Next.
Strudel. Toaster strudel.
Yeah. You're gonna have like a bagel heater.
Einstein bagel toasted oven. Yeah. The pizza heater disk drive included. If the next systems come out, if they don't want to be $1,000, they'll be like, well, if you don't want to pay $1,000, it's $700 just for the console. But if you want a controller, the disk drive, the charging cable, the whatever, they'll be like the power button switch on. Like they'll all be separate, each sold separately.
The KFC one disturbed me so badly because the person who did that, we know is not a gamer. Who would eat chicken?
Who would eat fried chicken
and
touch
then
the controller
touch
afterwards?
Their controller afterwards.
No gamer would do that.
No gamer would do that.
You would at least wipe it off on your shirt first, like this, and then touch your controller.
Ugh. Do you know how long it takes to get like chicken grease off the kind of plastic that's made out of the controllers that we have?
I don't, because I'm not an idiot. I would never touch grease like that with my controller, but that's just me. Last question is Altern says, what is more useful, the speaker for the gaming chair or the pizza warmer?
I mean,
you know what? I got to say, I'm going to give you 5 points, Altern. This is probably the best question we've had all night. Out of the 5 questions, you get 1 point for each of the useless questions that we had before.
I mean,
you
have to say the overpriced speakers.
This is what people really want to know. Yeah, people really want to know.
You have to pick the overpriced speakers for the gaming chair because I have legs. I can go fucking get a pizza out of the microwave.
That's a $400 speaker system, and the pizza warmer is just, you could buy it real cheap off of line for 3D printing, or if you have a 3D printer. If a cheap 3D printer, you paid maybe $150 for it. You print that out, it's like 40 cents for the actual material. It's much cheaper. So the pizza warmer might be the thing. But again, if you hate your system, you do the pizza warmer.
Like I want to blow up my own system. It makes no sense. I don't think anyone thinks anything through. Like there's no stopgap on any of these ideas. Like I got an idea, pizza warmer in my Xbox. It runs too hot. It's awesome. Like you're gonna blow up your system. It's fine.
Well, unfortunately, we do not have Pete Parson this week, but I can I can play the song for you if you want to play the song. All right, we could all sit here and listen to Pete Parson Carson the song. Here we go. I'll do it for you, Wolverine. All right, I'll do it for you.
Put the photo up.
I don't have it. Oh, here you go. I get.
From Teslas to old school rides galore, still working at Bungee Buddies out for more. Pete Parson Carson in a car buying spree, but destiny's calling, he's gotta be free. Oh, Pete Parson Carson rolling down the road, the car's stacking high, but he still ain't go mode. Go Pete, go, save some room for Bungee. From Teslas to old school rides galore, still working at Bungee Buddies out for more. Pete Parson Carson in a car buying spree, but destiny's calling, he's gotta be free. Oh, Pete Parson Carson rolling down the road, the car's stacking high, but he still ain't go mode. Go Pete, go, let's save some room for Bungee.
It's a good song. Catchy.
It's amazing.
It's catchy, you know. And yeah, he's still at Bungie. He's still at
Still
Bungie.
there.
He didn't add any more cars though, because I didn't search for him. So
We didn't get any updates. What he bought?
no, I love how the music just keeps going. It just keeps going in the background, little extra. It's like the guy doesn't want to get off stage.
Lounge stuff.
Yeah.
Like the lounge stuff.
Altern says, I still think that song is AI and not a person singing. Oh, sorry. No, we don't want to. No, stop it. All right. I forgot that it just loops around. Yeah, it's AI. It's 100% AI.
That's 100% AI.
Yeah.
And this is the worst it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's probably better now. That was like what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago when we made it.
Much better now.
It's gonna be much better. All right, so Generation X Game, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories of the past week, and we rant along the way, is over. Episode 418 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for watching, listening. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And like I said, if you want to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Real quick announcement. I will be on a podcast tomorrow evening. The host of that podcast is called the Guardian Down podcast. It's hosted by Todd the Gator, who's in chat right now. So if you click on Todd Gator's name, it should take you, if I'm not mistaken. Or Todd, if you want to give me a link real fast in Discord, I'll pop it in the chat. We're going to be on. I'm going to be on. Sarge can't be on. I'm going to be on tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Over on Todd's channel. He does a live podcast now, the audio version, but he also shows. So I'll be on his podcast. Let me get that link for you guys, so you can all check it out. Yeah, just send me that link, and then I'll pop it in the chat. Other than that, next week we have 2 guests on the show. One guest right now is confirmed. Next Wednesday night, we're going to have Greg Owen on the show again, talking to Greg Owen. And then on Tuesday, we have another guest, which I can't announce yet because we haven't locked in the actual time. But if we do have the interview, it'll be at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. So that's what that'll be. Let me see. Todd. I think I got it. Hold on a second. Let me get this link. YouTube. It's on your just a regular YouTube, right? Todd the Gator channel. Yeah, okay. There it is. So come out tomorrow and hang out with us as we have that podcast there. There it goes. It's in the link. Click on that, link it, so you guys have it saved for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I'll tweet out tomorrow and put it in the Discord as well when we go live. Again, I appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. You guys have a great rest of your week. We are going to do a morning stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to play. We'll probably play the rest of Call of Duty Black Ops campaign, but I'm not sure yet. But come on out tomorrow, and we'll have a good time. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.